on Twitter. Okay. Okay. Oh man, here we go. YouTube streaming. YouTube streaming. I love it personally. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Since we're doing YouTube stuff today, let's do some like quick testing. Window capture 3. Can I do some like Jesus, that was too much. I don't know what the fuck that is. Transform. We're at blending mode. Additive. Oh my gosh. Just if I just like minimize everything. Can I do like just slightly less than that? Just a little bit. Oh, like what does lighten do? Darken. Wowzers, that's way different. I don't like that. Huh. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and start. Let me just pull up YouTube here, and let me pull this up and do live chat. Well, let me do a pop-out chat. Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome to Hannity.
No. Okay, I need to do a Discord announcement. One second, sorry. I know like no one's here because we're streaming on YouTube yet, but like still. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, announcements. I gotta find. I wish that there was like an easy way to do just the just to link my thing, but I have to get like a dumb fucking like random string of letters type of link instead of my own name like I do have on Twitch. Stardust panel and Elden ring, and then paste rare YouTube link time. Okay. So we're going to be on a we're going to be on this supernova. And basically it's just like a fun panel where we're going to be on with some very fun people, and I'm very excited for it, okay? Supernova. We're gonna have Eris. I don't know the Breeze dude, but people seem to like him. Mythic Politics, who's a fun dude. I don't know Ginger Remoth. But we do have everyone's favorite NFT huckster, Redneck. I want to ask him how much money he lost on fucking NFTs. Oh my fucking god, dude. I cannot wait for that. That's going to be fucking 10 out of 10. That's going to be actually 10 out of 10. I can't fucking wait for it. Okay, now I gotta do something about this controller because for some reason my controller is not it's not doing well. For some reason, clicking down on the stick was the A button. Define layout. Button 2. Button 14. Oh, fuck. Here we go. What the fuck? No, go back. Fuck. Did you hear we're trading Kink at Pride for kids at drag shows this year? It's the same thing. It's the same fucking conversation. I was gonna try, if I have time, I won't have time, to go over the, conversation that Demon Mama and Shu are kind of currently having on Twitter. And it's so fucking funny because, like, they're both making reasonable points, but it's Demon Mama. So she says, like, the reasonable points in the most retarded fucking way possible. And it makes everybody, like, side with Shu, you know? And it's really fucking annoying. Okay, what was I just doing? Oh yeah, controller settings. Cancel, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to do define layout. Why is it doing that? Stop. How's it going, Tiger? I'm trying to listen, Tiger. Watch what happens. Hold on. Wait. Back. Escape. Why can't I leave this? Exit big picture. Force quit. Watch this shit. When I go into Elden Ring, okay, it is playing. Check this bullshit, okay? Now, this is gonna fuck you up. It's gonna fuck you up, okay? But the buttons here, all right? Now this is the movement, and this is normal. This is the PS3 controller, okay? But if I wanna jump and I press the X button, which is the button that's supposed to do it, it doesn't work. But guess what button does? The other fucking joystick is the A button. It only goes left and right. It doesn't go up or down. Up or down is an attack. I don't know what attack that is. It's some sort of magic attack, it seems, because it's using up my magic. Let's see. Triangle is, I don't know what the fuck it is. Square doesn't do anything. Circle doesn't do anything. LR is the I don't even know what button that is. I don't know what B is. B is the other joystick. Press down. Press adapt. I don't know. Listen, I can't do that. I can't look up or down. It gives me a magic attack. I can't attack. Jesus, why does it keep on doing this with the volume? Like, it's actually so unbelievably unintuitive. L1 is sneak. R2 is start. Or L2 is start. R2 is the select button. Left on the D-pad is R1. Down on the D-pad is R2. This is unbelievable. Okay. System. Quit game. Yes. No, I just want to quit. And let's see if I can't stop. Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting used to what I'm trying to do here with Steam and all that. One sec. Also, these earphones are... Is it just Elden? No. When I go into big picture mode here, no, not community. And I go to controller settings and I click on it and I define the layout. Look at this. Why did it just get loud? Okay, watch. So I try to fix everything. So it's just all of them are fucked. Back. Left shoulder. Right shoulder. D-pad down. Fuck, this is so stupid. I hate having to do this. Axis 2. Axis 3. Left trigger is... Right trigger is... Right trigger was axis 4? Okay. I don't know what button this is supposed to be. Oh god, please have saved. Please have saved. It didn't save. Okay, button 13. Button... Here, I'll just go to... 15... Okay, so 13, 14... 15. What is that then? Okay, start is... Save so far. No, wait. No thanks. Don't save yet. Oh no, fuck my life. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna message Stardust that I'm sorry I'm gonna be late. I am going to run late because I have a dumb fuck loser idiot controller and I have to fix it. So give me 10 minutes, please. No. I know what it is. The problem is that when I press the triangle button, it backs me out. Right? It's really annoying. Okay, we're gonna go through this. Button 13. We don't press that one yet. We press this one. Start. Guide. This one. Left shoulder, right shoulder, D-pad up, D-pad left, D-pad down, D-pad right, left stick X, left stick Y. Okay, I want to save for now. Dumb PS3. Okay, I just want to save it on my computer. No. Cancel. Okay, tertiary action. Burton 12. Okay, and then we need to go left stick Y is that one. Okay, they're all... Okay, save. Cool. Cool. Okay, now I need to scroll up really quick. Okay, now we're ready. Try to see which Discord I'm supposed to go to. I assume it's Stardust Discord, but I thought that it got suspended. Okay. Okay, I found it. Actually, that's probably bad. For special Stardust panel. Link. Okay. Now I just do this, and I can get rid of Twitter. We don't want to sit there and stare at Twitter all fucking day. I don't need the top chat. I need the live chat. I pull this right here. And then down, probably to here. I think we're Gucci gang now. Although I probably need to turn off my camera, don't I? Fuck.
A bummer, but it is what it is.
How's it going, guys?
What up?
Hey.
So how's YouTube been treating you, Mythic?
It's okay. Viewership is low, but you know,
Yeah.
it's brand new. It's nice. Like there was a good core of like 20, 30 people that followed me over and check in every night. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's good. It's not like starting from scratch, but I mean, it's pretty scratchy.
Oh shit! Fucking redneck left as soon as I joined.
It's just
Oh, okay. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, just give me a second here.
Yeah. What were you about to say, Jeb?
yeah, it's just weird. It's like people always talk about, oh, there's no way to actually cancel somebody, like it always follows. And it's like that's true for big people. But I mean, when you're someone who just kind of gets caught in the crossfire, it really isn't the case. Like there really is a lot of rebuilding that has to happen.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Okay, 1 second. What am I doing?
Why is this pop-up not working? How's it going, Star? How you doing?
What's up, Bilbo?
Sorry.
I'm gonna close my window because the light coming from outside is a different color than my lights. It's bugging me.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna disco and pop back in the call. Hold
Okay.
I guess Mythic's gonna come back in. Oh, there he is.
on. Okay, I can't. Okay, there we go. Let me see if this works.
Okay, let me see if. Okay, you can't see all the fucking clutter around my room. Cool. Perfect. We're good.
Awesome.
Dual webcam setup today. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, we're going high tech. All right, motherfuckers.
I'm gonna prop up my phone to give myself another angle.
Oh, fucking base. Look at you go.
Yeah, get the Miller High Life box in the background for my brain. I gotta mount this on top of my chair so that I have like some sponsorship cred.
Oh, Stardust. I'm streaming right now, just so you know. I'm live.
Me too.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
I am as well. Just
Someone
so
in
you
my
guys
chat
know,
said
this
that you weren't
is
streaming
gonna-
yet. Yeah.
This is gonna have to be like a YouTube stream, just so you know, because one of the people
Yeah.
here, Mythic, is okay. All right, just want to make sure you were aware. Awesome. Okay, we're just waiting for the rest of the people. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. Oh wait.
Let me yell at a couple of people here.
I'm trying to figure out
Hi.
the best way to set everything up here. How's it going, Eris? How are you feeling today?
Oh, hello. Let me make you louder. One sec.
I think that's the first time anyone's ever said that to me in my entire life.
I have like sensitive ears, so I just have everyone turned down by default.
Yeah, I
Um,
gotcha. No, I understand. You thought I was annoying. You needed me. We were on a panel together in the past. You had to turn me down because you just couldn't handle it. You know.
okay, Sondsol, I don't think we've been on a panel together.
Probably not now.
I feel like we've just hung out.
Yeah, I think that.
And that was enough to turn you down.
Yeah, I know. It was a one-on-one call, and she had to like get me, just ignore me by turning me down. Rough.
It is rough.
See, I was
apologize.
trying to save some amount of my ego, but you're just like tearing me down, Eris, at the very beginning of the panel. Unbelievable.
It's always my tactic. Effective. Destroy their insecurity.
Jesus Christ, this little secondary cam here is really, really bright from the background. Let me see it. Maybe I should like
Okay.
point it down, but then you're gonna see all my fucking. You're gonna see all my dirty shit
It'd
because
probably
I
be
was-
better if you point it up and maybe let the exposure adjust with more of the background in it. A little better, but
Okay.
then yeah,
But now
that's
I
so
look
high.
dumb. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
All right. Yeah. Let's see.
Hell yeah.
Redneck, are those all the chickens that you bought with all the NFT money you made?
Yeah.
Look
Don't
at that.
start.
Wow.
Don't
Sorry,
start,
sorry,
Sondsol.
sorry.
Too early.
Why?
Too early.
Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? And why don't you have chickens? And why doesn't every one of you have chickens?
Well, I don't like birds, so.
Yeah, I'm in
You
California.
don't have to like birds. They're poultry. You don't have to
I-
have an excuse.
No, I
When-
don't
when
like
food
birds. I
starts
don't want to
drying
be
up-
near them.
When food starts drying up, where are you going to get your eggs from? Where are you going to get your food?
Well,
True.
if we're in a situation where society is collapsing anyways, I'm just gonna go with the biggest, most powerful warlord, and I'm just going to, like get down on my knees and do whatever is necessary to get food. Okay? At that point, like my life is already going to fucking suck. I don't want to have to be around birds. All right, so I'll go and suck the dick of a warlord. Okay?
Yeah, man. Even if society collapses, it's still Pride Month.
Yeah, fucking fair point.
Very true. Very true. So I think we're missing 3 people, which is typical. For, this show. We got 3 people running late.
That's just how
So,
it goes sometimes,
It is how it goes sometimes. Flamenco
2 people.
usually loses track of time. Ginger said she's going to be 15 minutes late. But hey, we got Bryce here.
Yo,
How's it going,
Yo.
Bryce?
it's going good. It's going good.
I've heard a lot of
thank
really
you,
good
hello.
things about you. How you, like what is your whole deal?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. Sorry, can you ask what you asked again?
Yeah, I was just asking like what's your whole deal? I don't know if you're like a liberal, a conservative, a socialist, I don't fucking know
Um,
anything.
I am a really peculiar kind of Canadian conservative.
Oh, you know what? Every conservative I've met from Canada is actually like way more based than most of the liberals I know from the United States. So you know what? I'm gonna assume that that's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Very true.
But
Okay.
yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm glad it's cool to be on a panel with you. I've been meaning to bump into you sometime to compliment your Destiny mannerisms. Now that I've been watching
Oh,
more
yeah?
streamers and seeing more, the hand movement and like some of the cadence, some of the way you speak, yeah.
See,
it's
I
very
don't
good.
think that I can speak like Destiny. He speaks way too fast. I was born and raised in the South. I talk really fucking slow.
Mhm.
I think the trick is to never be another content creator. Just be yourself.
Yeah, probably.
It's true.
But like, what if you don't have a personality and you're just
I mean, that's what it's
Frankensteining
always
together?
been.
Then
what if
get
you
off
just-
of the platform?
Listen, just
That's the problem
Frankenstein.
after you
It's
put it
it's
on
easy
stream.
enough. I think it's easy enough if you just Frankenstein a whole bunch of other people's personalities together, the best of both worlds.
I guess if
No,
you
that's
Frankenstein. But the blatant copycats are the funny ones, man.
I don't
Example.
know, faking it sucks. Be who you are. Accept it and fuck around.
I have to pretend I didn't hear Mythic say example because I'm not going to shade anybody this early on. I got to keep.
Who's a blatant copycat?
I don't know about blatant
Ooh.
that are actually big because that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
more so when you're looking through the pot, like looking through panelists, and like when I'm meeting new panelists, a lot of them, it'll be like, oh, you are straight up trying to be like Destiny light, or you're trying to be like. There are a lot of like CTV lights who will just start yelling for no reason, and they don't realize like CTV has a little bit of like entertaining timing to go with it, and they'll just start yelling nonsense in the middle of a conversation for no reason. But that's
Are you
'cause I
talking
run
about the
in kind
claw
of
on
the-
Twitch? The claw guy? Is that who you're talking
Oh
about?
no, not him,
Oh, I
but
love Claw.
holy
He's so
fuck,
great.
dude. I saw the Mr. Doobie exchange on
Yeah, that's
that
all
one.
I've ever seen of him. He
He was
we've
on a-
exchanged
sure?
DMs before, but like other
I
than
was on
that,
a panel with him. He got heated, but for him it seemed genuine at least when he got heated on the panel.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
a
I'll
genuine
take
guy.
that.
Wouldn't it be
So-
just your
so you're
perception
very
though of the first
quiet.
person you were exposed to? So you compare everybody after that to that, like the first conservative you met or the first liberal you met, like really that hit your nerve. Wouldn't that be why you then compare everybody after that to that?
I think
Oh,
that
I
the,
love
that's
CCV.
possible, but I think that the reason that we would do that is because there's like if someone comes in to the space after that initial person, right, and they have the exact same mannerisms, right, and they have also said that they've watched that person's content before, you can make some reasonable assumptions that they're trying to be like more like them or copy, or at least I think that also you can pick up parts of people's mannerisms by watching them just through osmosis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sondsol,
I'm not-
you're very, very quiet. I
Uh-oh.
have you at like 200%.
Yeah, here I'll crank up my my gain a little
Sondsol is
bit.
the worst, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
About he is literally the worst about like just
Just in general.
Yeah,
just in general. I fucking hate the guy. He's literally the
Yeah.
worst. I hate
Yeah.
him so much.
Nice hair though.
I'm actually getting a haircut tomorrow. Not all the way off,
Oh,
but
isn't
like,
that nice for you, Sondsol? Did we ask?
well, he brought up my hair,
Mhm.
and I just thought I would try and change the subject about how away from how bad of a person I am.
Yeah, you're a terrible, terrible person. Anyways,
So how many
Where is-
worthless beings we waiting on?
we are waiting on 2 more worthless beings, but we may as well get started here. Just give me a yeah.
Just want to
yes.
say you look amazing. No one else can comment on it because they'd be a creep, but I can do it. You look so
Wow.
good tonight. Like I love the
Thank you.
pearl thing. It looks really cute.
Oh,
As if
thank
being
you.
a creep
That is
would
so-
stop me. Fucking Stardust, you look fucking banging, and I def would. There you go.
Okay.
Everyone was secretly thinking.
Thank-
Do you guys
Yeah.
see me? Is my camera on?
I do.
Okay. Just checking.
All right.
Wait, Redneck, are you
so
actually going to
give
be
me
using the
second,
chicken cam? I
guys.
thought you said you were going to use a backup cam. I want to see. I want to see that.
No, I went to the other account, and the only thing I have on this alt account, I can't stream my actual fucking camera, so I'm using OBS to just suck off a video of the other one.
Oh well, sorry. I wish
I mean,
could
don't
help
you like
out.
looking at cocks and hens anyway? I mean, what's wrong with this?
Well, I
It's
don't
better
care.
than me. I'm
I-
fucking ugly.
Listen, I think that there's a lot of like shiny parts of your personality. I think there's a lot of shiny parts of your face, especially the top of the head. There's a lot of polishing that goes on that dome, both intellectually and physically. And I think everyone wants to see it.
We talk about the
All right,
dome
I'll
polish.
work on it.
Bryce,
I'll work
have you ever
Gotcha.
seen any videos from the guys, the Modern Rogue? The 2 guys, they'll do like little gamesmanship stuff and on YouTube, or they'll do like beer brewing, like man stuff on YouTube.
No, I don't think I have.
Look 'em. You look exactly like one of them. You should look them up.
All right. I'll check it out.
Hey, yeah, they also make good videos on like weird niche stuff. So
Stardust, I don't see myself on your stream. My ego feels hurt.
oof.
I mean, I see you.
Oh,
Let me see.
Not on
Something's
her
changed.
stream, just in the Discord in general.
yeah.
Yeah, you're just for us today.
How could
Beer
that,
beat.
how could
That's
that
nice.
be?
Yeah, I don't know. That
I
is
know
weird.
there's a lot to go around, a lot to handle. You guys will need the backup. Wait, okay, I can see my icon now. Am I crazy? Okay, this is so weird.
How
Let me
how are
refresh.
you porting the Discord over to your OBS?
Okay, there we go. No, it's okay. I'm good. I fixed it. Sorry.
Yep. I can.
I
see 'em now.
use virtual camera. If you don't know how to use your virtual camera from OBS, you can put anything into Discord using a virtual camera.
No, I was talking to like Star. How is it
Oh.
that we see Bryce in the Discord pop out, but yet it wouldn't appear on stream? I'm just curious how she's getting that video.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Hacks.
How she's getting that video.
So, how's everybody doing? How's the Sunday night, Sunday evening? Afternoon.
I was recovering from a night of heavy drinking all day, and I ate a huge bowl of ramen, and then I came on here, and that's what my entire day has been. I woke up at noon, and then I didn't get out of bed really until like 2 p.m.
Nice.
I just realized you guys couldn't hear me for the longest time.
Nope, we couldn't.
Yeah.
No, it was the serene silence of no women talking.
It was
I
actually
said
nice.
earlier, I was talking for like 2 minutes to you guys, and no one responded. I was like, "Well, fuck them," and then I realized I was muted. I was like, "Oh,
That could probably happen when you're not muted too. So
probably." Yeah.
yeah.
Well, not now. Now it's content. We have to fill the gaps.
I mean, never mind.
Are you gonna make a sexual joke?
I was gonna make a sexual joke. Yeah.
We're on YouTube, dude. It's all good here, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
you can
You
get
can
away
still-
with a
you-
lot on YouTube.
Listen, you can still get canceled on YouTube. All right.
It's harder.
It's
It's
harder.
Stardust
mean-
is like, believe me, I've tried. It's not working.
I haven't tried.
Yeah,
Like,
apparently the honks are racist, so Stardust is just Ash adjacent, honking her way through all of Twitter and YouTube trying to get banned.
The Hong Kongs
True.
are only racist if you're using the liberal calculus, where if anybody does anything in a context of racism, it sours every other context for it going forward, like the OK sign or the Hong Kong Pepe. But like literally saying honk is not a white supremacist thing, or else every
I
car would
refuse
be
to give it up.
racist.
I
Yeah.
refuse to give up honking to the Nazis. Why the fuck
Yeah,
would I let
exactly.
a bunch just because a bunch of Nazis honked one time, I can't use honking anymore? I refuse to give up the honking. I will honk at whoever I want to on Twitter, and Keffels can deal with it.
Dude, yeah, that was the funnier part about the OK symbol thing, was that it all came from like the 4chan meme, like trying to see if like people on the left would pick it up as a white supremacist thing. But then there were white supremacists who were too dumb to realize that that was the case and actually started using it in a white supremacy way, and
Yeah.
it totally ruined the joke.
Yeah, it's like they have like so many layers of irony that they keep on doing it over and over and over, and then they keep on doing it over and over and over so that they end up like signaling to each other like, haha, look, it's the white supremacy joke, and then you end up just like creating like a little hand gesture for white power. And it really sucks.
Unbelievable. I will not let
I
them
know.
have it.
Because it's actually a funny joke at the beginning, right? It's
Yep.
actually kind of a funny joke that like, oh, we can get the liberals to believe fucking anything, but then they
Mhm.
they actually start doing it. It's like, oh man, fuck.
Now we
dude.
lost a hand signal. A good one too.
Okay, we're gonna start. We're just gonna start. Okay. Well, other
Sweet.
two will pop in later. So, I don't know. Actually, maybe I should wait for Eris at least to show back
Maybe.
up. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll just wait for Eris to show back up. Guys, I have a hypothetical question, unrelated, but let me ask you guys. Okay. Well, first, let me say that welcome to the Supernova. This is my semi-blood sports / semi-casual panel show. The way that I moderate with this is I do a thing called rage moderation. That's what people have called it. They call it rage moderation. I yell at everybody indiscriminately because chat thinks it's funny. So don't take it personally. I just yell and I act exasperated, but it's never personal. It's always for the entertainment of chat.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then also, I guess while we're waiting for people to show up, you can choose to answer this question if you'd like, or you can choose to pass on the question. I figure we could start with an icebreaker. If the only way you could get your dick sucked was to suck somebody else's dick, would you suck somebody? How often would you suck somebody else's dick?
Do I still get laid other ways? Like,
Yeah, you can still get laid other ways.
so I can say like hand jobs, anal.
Yeah.
Okay, say the
Everything.
question one more time. Sorry, I'm not sure if I
the only
follow.
way you could the only way that somebody would suck your dick is if you suck somebody else's dick. It's like an exchange. It's like a government exchange program.
I think
Like-
is this a question that I can answer at like a wait? Is it something that I can
Sonsol's
opt
like, is
into?
this a trick question? What
No.
did I get?
Wait. Can I opt into this at a later time? Because I'm just thinking like if I say no right now and go ahead with sex as is, that there will probably come a point like in the future where I've tried everything and I do miss a bit of like dick sucking. So yeah, I'd probably do it.
Well, she's not saying that
How
once you
often?
say yes to it once, you just have to do it all the time. I think she's saying just whenever you want to cash in a blowjob, you just got to go do your blowjob tax, and then you'll get your voucher.
Is that scenario, or is it that like to have
Yes,
sex
it
to
is
get
that
a?
scenario.
Okay, all right. I just
Yes.
wondered if there was like a third
So how often?
party cock in the bedroom. So if I wanted pleasure from like my wife per se, I would have to like suck someone off real quick. And thank you, sir. You may go now, and then receive the fellatio.
Just blowjobs. I think she said you can do everything else for free. Just blowjobs. With that answer, I answer once a year.
Oh wait, so is it giving head to men only in order to get head from women?
What about trans femme people?
Ooh,
Yeah,
if you could find a
it's a-
really good one.
It's a penis. It's a penis. That's all. That's all.
This is
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
but
once a year is fine.
now that
for
we're
me then.
narrowing it with such specificity, like this kind of makes me a little uncomfortable, Stardust. Like where did the specificity come from? Like why are we
That's the whole
fixating
point.
on- No, I
That's the
know,
whole point for her.
Yeah,
I think it's less
I'm-
specific, actually. I think she's opening it up to more possibilities by saying it's just a penis. I think she's really widened the horizons for us.
Yeah,
I would
so
give up
would
my
s-
dick being sucked.
You
I
would.
would say.
Wait,
I
Ranger
would
Really?
says
say-
once a week in the chat. All right, Ranger, I
It's
see
like,
you,
no,
dog.
I
You
don't-
couldn't do it. You couldn't do it.
I
You
know,
couldn't
like,
suck
I
what
know that sucks.
equivalent
I know that
exchange.
No, I mean,
The laws of
sucks sucking
alchemy,
my
my
own
dude.
dick. Like I'm sure, like my wife like fucking hates the job already. Why would I
Yeah.
want to fucking try to torture her twice, like myself and her, just for that? Fuck it. I'll bypass it and just move on.
Oh, question.
Well, the question
What
then would be
the
like,
Hold
why does
on.
your wife
Info-
hate sucking
info.
your dick so much? Is there something wrong with it?
Whoa, chill out, Sondsol, with
No, okay.
personal questions.
Sorry,
So
is that
it's
against the
not-
rules?
It's not a personal question that I'm answering it like if my only choice was to cash it in 1-for-1, my dick ain't worth it.
Okay, gotcha.
For myself, like it ain't worth it. Fuck it.
Well, she's
Just
saying
give it
this
up.
is a legal restraint. But Stardust,
Agreed, and I
very
would give up
important
the legality
question.
of having to do it.
Very
Yeah.
important question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do they finish?
It's up to you. At that part,
Okay.
I'll leave up to you guys. Yeah.
So you can have them shoot it over the shoulder. You don't have to worry
Well,
about.
I mean, whether you choose to
shoulder.
swallow or spit, it's up to you.
Wait, hold on. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
they do have
You're
to
going.
finish
y-
it in your mouth.
Your entire thing is contingent on where they're finishing. Like you would suck a dick, but you wouldn't like take a cum in your mouth.
Those-
That's the
I will-
line for
well,
you?
Hold on. No. There is no line. If I have to suck a dick to get my dick sucked, it's happening at least once every couple years. But if I don't have to actually have the shit in my mouth, which I think is the grossest part, once a year is fine.
every couple years. If we're talking lady gawk, I would suck it every day and just sort of take the return blowjob
did you
as
call
the lady cock.
Lady cock. Oh wait, that's a good question. If every
As-
time we suck
as-
the lady cock, do we get a blowjob automatically too, though? 'Cause
Well,
then
yeah,
the
No,
well,
you
yeah,
get to
but
cash
I
it
would
in.
take it
You
just
get
as
to
a
cash it in.
bonus.
It's government voucher system.
Oh, okay. So you can rack them
Wait,
up.
is there like a government
Good.
agent that has to like
Yeah.
supervise this to
Yes.
authenticate it?
What is
Yeah, I was
going
gonna
on?
In
say,
what
so
agency
happens-
is that gonna
what happens
be?
when
Flamenco
let's say
joined
that I
deafened.
just let's say that
Flamenco.
wait, he got
Flamenco joined, he's deafened.
What a
But what
fucking
if-
loser.
Okay, wait,
Take
wait.
it
I need to
10
know.
fucking
So
minutes
let's
to
say that
turn
I've
on the dog.
Okay, but let's say hypothetical. Let's say I had a really crazy Friday night and I sucked 11 dicks, right? So now I've got
Oh,
11
you're
dick
stocked
coins.
up,
That's
brother.
a lot
Wait,
in
yeah.
one night, Bryce. What are you
You're
doing?
stocked up, dude.
Wait, okay, so I've
Dude,
got
it's
11
Pride
dick
Month. I'm
coins
sure
right
that
now,
you
right?
could do all
How
sorts of
does this
crazy
work?
shit at a
Like,
bar, you know?
Do I go to the government facility to cash in my dick coin to get like this head and
Well,
like
you-
who gives it
There's
to
like
me?
Well,
it's
you
like
wash
a
your
government
beard
app.
first.
It's an app on your phone, and you cash it in. The other person says, "Yes, this person sucked my dick," and then you get like a dick sucking voucher. Or
Okay,
something.
yeah, but how do you cash in the dick sexing voucher? Does somebody just have to like whoever you give it to? Do they like oh fuck like all right you got me
No,
you
no,
got
no.
you gave me
Obviously,
the
it
dick
would have
sucking
to be-
voucher. I gotta suck
It would
your
have
dick
to be
now.
like a consenting partner, obviously.
Yeah, so that's my thing. So say you're in a committed relationship, right? And you can't cheat, but you
Hello?
have a lot of tokens saved up. Does a government agent willing to step in as like a neutral, like non-relational third party to take
Oh,
care of you
no.
in that moment?
We lost somebody.
Oh no, who was it?
I don't know. I don't even know who it was. So they weren't.
I
that
think it was
memorable.
Redneck.
It was me.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
No,
And
Redneck's
Redneck.
gone too.
Oof,
Oh.
Uh-oh.
poor dude.
I think
He'll
he's
be
going
back.
to rub. He's going to rub one out. We got him a little.
No,
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
he's not. Please don't make that joke. Please don't make that joke. We just
He's
got everybody
not
in
doing
here.
that. He's not
We
doing
just-
that, guys.
We just got everybody in here. Flamenco, can you turn on your V cam? Your virtual cam?
Yeah. Give me just 1
Yeah,
second.
specifically virtual cam. No other V cams
Yeah.
or D
I know-
cams.
No. Oh, ew, gross. No, definitely not
All right,
that. Ugh.
Chill. chill. We need to chill, okay? The joke question was just for a joke, okay? Everybody,
Okay.
welcome.
Yeah, sorry I
to
was late. I was my car battery died, so I had to get a jump.
Okay. No problem.
Mango
Okay,
got
so
jumped.
welcome once again to Supernova. You guys, a lot of you have been here before. A lot of you have not been here before. I appreciate you coming here. Just a couple of things. This is the semi-casual / semi-blood sports panel, so it can go either way. We're gonna have fun with it. Secondly, I do this thing called rage moderation, or at least that's what my moderators call it. Rage moderation, where I just yell. I yell at people. Don't take it personally. Chat thinks it's funny when I yell at people and act exasperated. So that's generally what I do. Thirdly, just try to follow YouTube TOS. It's a little bit more broad than Twitch TOS, so I think we'll be okay. And then lastly, we can go around and introduce ourselves. Bryce, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Sure. Bryce Live. You can find me on Twitch. I'm gonna eventually branch out to YouTube, but I've just had other shit on my plate. Yeah, find me at Twitch, BRYSLIVE, Bryce Live. I do like a lot of politics, psychology, economics, a little bit of philosophy. Yeah, that's me.
Nice, Eris.
I'm Aristocracy, spelled with an E, not an A. I'm usually Aristocracy TV in most places, and I usually stream on Twitch, but I do post everything on YouTube as well. I mostly do historical content, or I try to look at current political issues or current things from a historical perspective. Because of that, I have a community that's weirdly non-political, even though they're interested in politics. Like I've got right wingers, left wingers, centrists, total weirdos. So yeah, you should give me a watch if you get a chance.
Awesome, flamenco.
I guess flamenco. I'm on youtube.com/flamenco TV primarily because I just prefer YouTube overall. I cover a broad variety of topics, generally either political or drama related, generally some combination of the two, because political streamers tend to have a lot of very, very interesting inner creator fighting that's very fun to laugh at. And yeah, just basically whenever catches my interest. So, if you like what you watch, yeah, you'll probably enjoy watching more, I guess. I don't know.
All right. Jeb.
I'm Jebtan, Jebtan on Twitch, and Jebtan RIP on Twitter. I'm a conservative. Most of what I've been streaming thus far has been just the panels that I'm on, but I'm probably going to start streaming soon now that I'm pretty close to getting affiliate. Probably going to be a lot of political talk about economics, probably a lot of some video reviewing if I can get away with it, and obviously some politics drama stuff, and a lot of probably poker and League in the background.
Nice. Ginger.
What position in League? Sorry.
I play top, mid, and support, usually in that order.
I'm Ginger. You can find me at Ginger Ramoth at Twitch and on Twitter. I normally just video game and meme and sometimes dress up in cosplay.
Awesome. Mythic.
I'm Mythic Politics everywhere but Twitch. Recently banned, restarting streaming over on YouTube, trying to do different stuff, being that the React and content and TOS is completely different. I've been doing horrible gaming lately where I get fucking owned and the chat just laughs at me all day, which is kind of entertaining if you like Schadenfreude. Come check me out, youtube.com/mythicpolitics.
Very cool, very cool. Redneck.
What's cracking, fam? It's your boy Redneck. Hope the audio's okay. I don't stream worth hardly any time anywhere, but I just join up on panels. I'm pretty toxic. Don't give a fuck. I'm too old. Don't care. I'm willing to go head to head with anybody on anything at any time. Don't give a damn.
Awesome. Last but not least, Sondsol.
Yeah, I'm Sondsol. I like to play video games. I like to argue with people, and I'm Redneck's best friend. So I'm glad that we finally get to be on a panel together for the first time in what feels like an eternity. And I'm just here for the vibes, honestly.
All right. And then I guess finally, I'm the host. You guys know me. I yell every week. We do this every Sunday. So anyways, first question, guys. And why is Flamenco deafened?
Dumb
Flamenco,
fuck.
I'm looking at you. Flamenco,
This
I'm
fucking
looking at
guy,
you.
dude.
You know he's talking to his
This
chat right
guy.
now.
He
Just
is
everybody
looking
look
his
at him
chat.
like this. Just
Flamenco, I'm looking at you.
Shame the dog.
Bad dog. Bad dog. Bad
What kind of
dog.
dog is that?
Okay,
Sorry,
anyways.
I was answering a super chat.
It's okay. I'm just joking. Okay. Anyways, question number 1: How concerned are you? Oh, by the way, let me actually lay this out. Okay, since we've got a lot of people, I just ask a question and it's open floor immediately. We don't do really like opening statements. I don't think. So.
Thank God.
Well, yeah, because, yeah. Anyways, it's a little bit more informal. But anyways, yeah. How concerned are you over the effects of climate change? Historically, large-scale environmental changes have led to dramatic shifts in societies and which nations or cultures are dominant. Is fighting climate change not just an environmental issue, but an issue of geopolitical power?
I'm not super. I'm not super like crazy on how we're gonna deal with climate change because, as you said, one of the biggest issues with climate changes is that they cause the need for rapid versatility and change in technology and change in civilizations. And I think we're better equipped now to make and implement rapid changes in technology, agriculture, and things like that than we ever have been. I think we're going to adapt a lot better than people think. I think the reason that, climate doomsday predictors have consistently been wrong isn't because they're necessarily crazy off on what's happening in the climate, but more so that they're off as to how well we are able to compensate with the technology that we have.
Yeah,
The
I
fact
feel
that
like
any of
that.
you guys are going to sit here, the fact that any of you
Sorry.
guys are going to sit here and argue that there's a human touch to control and or observe or acknowledge or identify and deal with any form of climate change. Like we have any, on one hand, you either agree that the government can do weather climate change activities, aka can change weather using technology, or we can't do a fucking thing. Because no matter how much emissions you reduce, no matter all these things you do, they still can't answer for the changes in climate that has happened millions of years before and after. It's gonna happen. So for me, when I sit here and hear all,
Well, hold on.
Hang
We're not
on,
talking
I'm
about a
talking-
natural
Wait,
change.
wait,
We're not.
wait,
Guys,
wait.
guys. Let's let Redneck finish what he's saying, and then.
so when I talk about this with you guys, literally I think that we are all just little fleas on the back of a dog's ass. That's on the back of another flea. That's on the back of another dog's ass. I
Fleas
think
can
that
give you
all
the
these
plague.
I think that all of these conversations are going to be minuscule in the act. This whole bullshit started in the late 70s. When I was a kid, there was a fucking time article saying we're going into an ice age. And then all of the scientists miraculously were saying, yeah, it looks like that. And we're supposed to have a heat up before it cools down. And now
big Time
that's the
magazine reader.
reverse. Bro, I was a young kid. I said when I was a fucking kid.
You know, they used to do lobotomies with ice
Wait,
picks and said that that was what
guys,
science
I'm
was,
so
right?
sorry. I'm so sorry.
I am not
so
saying.
sorry. I want to give Redneck enough time to finish what he's saying, and then you guys can jump in, okay?
I'm not saying that we don't have climate change, for fuck's sake, but I'm telling you guys, it's pointless to sit here and start berating each other about how you believe when I'm telling you for a fact, I believe we are minuscule. We've had zero significant change or impacts because we can't quantify it. No one can tell us if we've ever had societies bigger than us currently. They claim we have the most people ever in the world. Like, these things are all bullshit hypotheticals. Period.
Okay, Mitch.
Science out there
What
still
are you
evolving.
talking about?
I think that all those things are objectively and empirically false. Everything you just said. Like, yes, they can quantify other things like the amount of greenhouse.
There's no
gases
such thing
that
as
are-
empirical evidence.
What?
This is going to be a very difficult conversation, isn't it?
There's no such thing. There's no such
That's
thing as
yeah.
empirical evidence. There's no such thing as empirical evidence.
That's fine. You can
Prove it.
approach this from an entirely different perspective, right? If we're talking about climate change and everything that's happening here, I completely lost my train of thought.
So,
Yeah,
okay, hold
there-
on.
If you're talking
So
about
do you
greenhouse-
guys realize I
greenhouse-
said there's no
greenhouse
such thing as
gases-
empirical evidence, and y'all's fucking faces went like this, like Read the
Because, I
definition of
mean,
Where
empirical.
you
Read the definition of empirical and read what science is supposed to be. Science is the continual evolution of study of a particular subject.
the
There is no
continued
such thing as
evolution of study
empirical.
on the subject
There's
has
no
has
such
a-
How do
thing
you
as
study?
empirical.
Hey,
You use
bud,
empirical evidence to
we
continue
had
the
to
study.
sit here
Yes.
and be silenced while you sputtered whatever the fuck that was out
Yeah.
for several minutes. Okay, so can we talk about how what you said is fucking stupid now? Okay, and if you can
can be stupid, but it's not empirical.
you can objectively prove that yes, we have increased greenhouse gases into the ozone, into the atmosphere by the result of anthropogenic industrial processes. That increases the temperature. The as far as the old meme about the ice age in the 70s or whatever, I can't believe we're having to relitigate climate change, anthropogenic climate change. I agree that if I'm to discern what your takeaway from the topic is that you feel like there's not many consumer side or market based solutions for climate change. Is that what you were getting at?
He's saying it's not happening.
She prefaced. No, I did not. I said
Through
my
human
opinion,
means.
No matter. She prefaced the question based on society, power, is weather and climate change. All of these geopolitical pieces being used as pawns, and that's how I see it. Because realistically, it's a game. No power and nobody on this fucking earth can do anything. Even if the whole globe says we're going to stop using gasoline tomorrow, there would be something else that would happen that they would say, "Oh, fuck's sakes, it's climate change. We need to then adapt this."
Wait, Redneck, you're making so many
ass.
different arguments. It's really hard
Yeah.
to understand like what
Yeah.
you're actually saying, and you're going with like really
Climate
really large,
change, this whole
really
conversation
large.
is
One
bullshit.
second, one
Hold on.
second.
We're tiny.
You're
Okay.
focusing on like really
Okay,
large
wait, wait,
generalities.
guys.
So I'd like you to be a little more specific on what you're talking about, because otherwise we're not going to be able to argue with you.
Climate
And
change
so,
is bullshit.
One second.
Okay,
Okay.
I
so-
think I can
but
filter
it,
down.
are there
Wait,
not?
let's
are
let
there-
aristocracy say what she wants to say. Okay.
Okay. Are there not?
And then I'll go to Jeff.
Do you think that there's ever been like improvements to that we've made to the environment when we noticed there was an environmental issue?
Okay, so if you
No,
want to
just
take me
answer the
down the
question.
no, you're not gonna fucking pigeonhole me and make me answer your way. I'll answer the way I want to answer, and here's how I'm gonna answer it. If you want to pigeonhole the use case of the Earth, then you need to go back and say, oh well, if we didn't create all these fucking concrete structures in the middle of nowhere and have to pump water in from other
That's not
places.
what I asked you, dude. Okay, I asked you.
But you don't want
okay.
the fucking answer. Direct
Okay,
action and
no,
cause.
I'm asking you. Okay,
Cause
if
and
we've
effect.
noticed that, say, like wolves, European wolves, like were going extinct, and that was a real problem, right? And then we figured out that there was like a solution to that. Do you believe that there was a solution to fixing the European wolf issue? Like, do you think that we've made any actual improvements? Okay.
So you're
You
taking
just
the
like
preface
haven't
that
read
man.
anything.
Oh, okay, so that's what you took out of me saying no, that
Yes.
humans can't fix shit unless they fuck it up and then they have to directly replace it. But other than that, you can't play God. You can't play nature.
We have
Okay.
fixed environmental issues.
The
That's
fuck
a
we have
fact.
not.
Yes,
Hold
we
on,
have.
yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on, really quick. I've
Went
been letting other people go. Really quick, Redneck, you realize that there have been like in recent history, right? In like the 20th century, like the river in Chicago caught fire because of how fucking polluted it was. And it wasn't until after we instituted and created the EPA that the river that goes, I don't know, is it the Chicago River? I don't know what the
you
river
just
is. but-
acknowledged
Ohio River.
we fucked up the river, we polluted it as humans, and then we had to create an organization to look after nature's best interest. Get the fuck out of here with y'all's hypocrisy bullshit. Don't
Wait,
fuck up the
Wait,
river in
hold
the
on.
first
Wait.
place.
I want a cage
River.
match. Wait.
You're
Wait.
talking about
Wait.
literally-
Is there
Myth.
cage match rules in this? Can we
Listen.
cage match?
No.
Wait a minute,
I want him
wait a
to
minute.
answer me. What the fuck the hypocrisy was in my statement?
Because you're sitting here, you only want to look at the effect and not what the cause was.
Yeah.
And
We
when
know
talk
what the
about
cause
climate
was. It
change,
was the pollution
No,
inside of the river.
that
Yeah,
the
and if you
human put
address the
there.
cause,
The
it doesn't-
human put there. Don't be a
Yeah.
fucking cocksucker and
Flamenco.
put shit in the water.
Okay,
Well, that's
let's-
why
let's
we
go
had
to
to create
Jeff.
the
Let's go
EPA
to
so
Jeff,
that
and
they
then we'll go
didn't
to
put shit in the
Flamenco.
water.
Okay, let me
But the
filter down
government is
hold
still
on.
putting
Hey,
shit in water.
hey, Did she
The
say go
EPA
to
is still
Jeb?
allowing that
I
shit.
thought I heard go to Jeb.
Yes. I want to give everybody a chance here to get at least a word in. So I'm going to go to Jeb. We're going to go to Flamenco. We're going to go to Bryce Live, okay?
Yeah, so I'm going to filter down the arguments and respond to them. I'm not going to ask any questions so we don't get caught in a back and forth. It's not because I don't want to hear what you have to say, Redneck, but it's because there's an order now. So first, the lack of the fact empirical evidence doesn't exist. That's just bullshit. Evidence isn't only evidence if it proves something 100%. The reason why we call it empirical evidence is to imply the limitations of that evidence. It's not that there's no such thing as empirical evidence. It's that we call it empirical evidence because that is supposed to tell you that you can only gather, you can only get to an assumption with that evidence as far as the empiricism allows you to, right? It's acknowledging that it's imperfect, but not that it doesn't exist. You can get empirical evidence, and you can use the law of averages, and you can use probability to decide whether you should act on a certain issue in a certain way, because if it's 90% probable that it's going to succeed, then you should probably try. With your argument, I do think people are misunderstanding your argument, right? I think you are saying that the only times humans are able to successfully step in regard to climate change is when they're solving problems that they caused, right? But then you also said, kind of out of the other side of your mouth, that humans don't have any control over the climate. I don't think anyone
Don't call a fucking river being polluted climate change. That is a fucking environmental disaster.
That wasn't a response. That wasn't a response to climate change.
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
Change
We
is
gotta
an environmental disaster, too.
Let's
I'll
let
let
Jeb finish.
I'm
Let's
very
let Jeb
close.
finish.
So,
I'm
environmental.
slope the fuck out of their
Okay.
I'm about to come. This is great.
Environmental issues. We are only able to successfully attack environmental issues that we cause, right? Damage we cause the environment. But I don't think anyone is arguing that we're going to flip a switch and we're going to change the climate. But I think to act as if there's, quote, nothing we can do, which is what you said, is wrong, because when it comes to how climate change affects humans, we're the only ones that can do anything in terms of agriculture. Hold on, stop.
It's
Wait.
the way your brain understands it.
Whoa, stop. You don't even know how my brain understands it because you haven't let me finish, right?
No, let's let Jeb finish, okay?
Yeah, it's really cool.
He's
when
really
you let me
close.
finish,
He's so
yeah,
close.
really
okay?
close, right? So when, say, water is more...
I'm sorry, before you finish, Jeb, I'm so sorry to interrupt you because everybody else is interrupting you. But thank you for the raid, Destiny. I love you, Destiny. Thank you so much for the raid. Feel free to join anytime if you'd like.
Sweet.
On
All right.
YouTube.
Anyways.
Holy shit.
So
I-
when we're
Very
talking
kind
about...
of you.
When we're talking about how humans can respond to the struggles that descend from climate change, right? We've been doing that for a long time very successfully. Water has been becoming a little more scarce in parts of the United States. So now there are really intelligent, smart irrigation systems that use hydration sensors so you never overwater your crops, right? You only have to use as much water as you have to, and that allows us to exist and continue making food in an area that is not getting very much water, right? Humans are I understand we can do very little to alter the course of climate change, but we're the only ones who can do anything to alter the consequences of climate change. And I'm not saying I'm conservative like you, right? I'm not looking for Green New Deal, but what I am saying is we should be looking into agricultural technological solutions to make sure we can continue making food. Even if we don't think we can alter the course of the rise in temperature, we should at least make sure that we're discussing solutions as to how we can continue to make food, how we can continue to raise cattle, and how we can continue to live in coastal areas when the sea levels might rise, or the temperature might get hotter, or water might get more scarce.
First off, you're not conservative like
Can
me. Secondly, that's just thinking that you're a conservative. Okay. Bottom line is this: if you're a conservative, why can't you collect water at your house? Why are we got areas restricting water collection? Why do we have people preventing you? Hey, why are we preventing people from having chickens? Why are we preventing people from having the ability to self-preserve? I'm just saying.
You're
look,
arguing with someone who's not me, bro. I'm never going to keep someone from having chickens or collecting water.
I just want to make sure you separate my two arguments here. Yes, you said you talked out of both sides of your mouth. I'm going to answer that part real quick. The part I'm saying is that anything that we fuck up environmentally, like the water, the example you gave of the river, we could clean that up. But the shit that they're trying to say that they say, oh, for centuries the weather's been changing and we have adapted. We've learned how to build fires. We've learned how to build houses. We've learned to adapt. We've learned to adapt.
That's us doing shit.
You realize you've just changed what you told me earlier, right?
I'm not
you said
fucking
that
finished.
But you literally just
You're
countered
gonna
what
say
you
three
said
different
earlier.
things by the time you're done.
No, there's
And
two
that's
different
part of
arguments.
the
Talking
Hydra
about.
argument.
Okay.
Stop.
All right.
Stop.
Guys,
I don't understand how I break people's heads when it's this fucking simple. if you
said
fuck
you
up a
weren't
river
even
by
sure
putting,
if there's more people
shut the
now than
fuck
in the
up
past.
and listen.
You said you weren't even
If
sure
you
now.
drop-
I'm not sure
It
any
is.
of us are going to be able to meet the criteria of evidence that you need. You don't.
There's no
agree that-
evidence. Here's my
you don't-
argument.
you
I
don't
said it
think
There's no
was.
such
there's
You're
thing
not
as
gonna-
evidence,
now than in
guys.
the past. You don't think that
Here
there's
goes
more
last
people now
time.
than
Here-
in the
I'm gonna
Okay,
say
past.
it
I'm
one
so
more time.
sorry to break
I'm
it
gonna
up.
say it one
I'm
more
so
time.
sorry, but I feel like Flamenco and Bryce have been waiting. I do want to give them a chance to get in, and then we can
Yes,
really
please.
open it up and you guys can really duke it out, okay? So Flamenco, go ahead.
I'm just kind of curious as to like how you parse that. Like, we didn't clean up the river or something. Like, I'm confused at what your point is on that.
I was trying to clear it up. What I'm saying is this. If the chemicals get spilled into the water, like if you take a bucket of chemicals and pour it in the water, there's going to be a law created. Don't do that. We currently have those kind of laws, right? But then you have the
Right.
government who's supposed to enforce those laws, the EPA, allowing chemicals to go down that same river because it meets thresholds. Irregardless
Right,
of
but
who
the thresholds
allows it.
exist because it causes problems down the road, right?
They are the ones that started it, so clean it up. Fair, I'm with you. 100%, that's the only way you can clean up, in my opinion, anything is if you created it. But if we're just sitting here talking about the weather's getting fucking warm outside and I need to put some clouds in the sky, either we acknowledge the government or people can do that, or we need to accept the fact that clouds are going to come when nature gives them. And then when you guys talk about all this,
Yeah, but
We're
like
doing
like
I'm-
humans,
What?
even when it comes to like
Please.
comes to like natural phenomena, humans like adapt to their environment and try to stop it preemptively. Like if you have an area that's like prone to flooding, you don't build houses at the very bottom of the valley. You build it like up in the hills.
That's true.
You do in
So
Florida.
if you see like a problem that's coming, then you might want to try to like ameliorate it through whatever.
so the
solutions that
reason you have climate change that became so popular is because of insurance claims that were happening every year in the 80s and 90s and the 2000s. Go back and look at all this stuff, and this is all corporate greed
Yo,
driven.
I feel like
it's being used.
Redneck has a
Come on.
garage, and in his garage, there's this like it's wall to wall little like post-it notes, sticky notes with like string tethered to other things and tethered to other things, and just like huge like network where he's got like fucking everything figured out, right? He's like,
So
oh yeah,
the-
you know, like back in the 1970s, dude. Like, yeah, I'm not surprised that you're mentioning
it
the
says
1970s.
clouds.
It seems
What
like
does,
everything. Seems like everything that you're getting is from like a 1970s propaganda docket about like
No, but hold
climate
on, I
change
can
and gas and oil. Like,
I can understand like some of where you're coming from,
Did you
Redneck,
get
but
to
I,
well, before we go forward? I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure everybody gets their word in. So Flamenco, do you feel satisfied? And Bryce, do you-
I'm just kind of confused now. Do you think like Allstate and companies like that are specifically pushing renewable energy or some shit?
Who's he asking, me?
Yeah.
What was the question again? Sorry.
What are insurance company like how do insurance companies play into this? Like, are they
How do
the
they play
ones?
into climate change?
Yeah, are they driving the discussion around climate change?
You don't think that all those floods that were happening in Louisiana over and over and they don't have to pay out every year, that payout has went away, right? Because there's policies in place that you know wind damage comparative to flood damage. Dude, you guys consider say, oh, 70s conspiracy theorists bullshit. I'm fucking old enough to know. I've seen with my own eyes and I've watched the markets change. And I've watched Al Gore create this shit out of no. This stuff was created out of thin fucking air. They
wait,
weren't talking
okay,
about
no,
climate
you
change
know,
like this.
I never really got to say what I wanted to say. So basically, kind of Mythic was right that everything that you said is well, almost right, I guess is what I should say. Everything that you said is not necessarily so much like empirically incorrect, is that it's factually incorrect, right? The shit that you mentioned about like a warm up before the ice age, I actually looked it up because I was really curious. I was like, oh shit, like, did I just get like educated on something by a fucking like old redneck dude on Twitch? So I looked it up and I was curious, and it's actually the proximity of the sun to the earth as the earth is orbiting around the sun, which affects the ice age. And what actually happens is one of the icebergs melts and it draws more water into one ocean, making the other water saltier, et cetera, which actually draws CO2 out of the atmosphere. So it has the opposite effect of what we're seeing. So if what you said is happening, as you just so confidently said,
I didn't say it's
you
no,
did say
see,
you absolutely
again,
said it was
I
happening.
did not say that. I did not say it was happening. I said when I was a kid, they had it in the fucking mag. No, I
No,
said the.
what he's
Okay,
referring
stop.
to
I'm sorry.
is-
No, stop. I
when he's-
can answer my own question.
Can you?
Motherfucker, go back and rewind your own fucking video and listen to what the fuck I said. I said when I was a kid, they had on the Time magazines talking about we are going into Ice Age, but it's going to heat up first. I fucking was old enough to read the fucking article. Go back in
Yeah,
time
you
and
know,
read the
you
goddamn
use that.
article.
Okay, you use that Time article as a way to be like, well, yeah, this stuff doesn't really make any sense. I don't think it's true. It just seems like it's an idea that's been around since the 70s. That's literally all you were trying to say with that magazine. You actually propped this up as like, this is something that they've said.
You
This
just
is a
said that
phenomena,
I
but
said
that's
that it
not
was a
phenomena.
fact, and you're lying. You're fucking lying through your teeth. Pick your fucking argument. You're gonna bail with me on, all right? Don't be a
hold
bitch.
on.
Sorry,
I was
One last
talking
thing.
to
One last
the-
thing.
the-
One last
the
thing.
pre-
Okay,
Yeah.
Ginger. I don't know if you wanted to say anything on the topic at all.
Honestly, this topic for me is like come or go. I feel like there isn't much that we can do, but we shouldn't stop trying. Like it's up to us to stop it, and there's nobody else that's going to come in and save the humans. So we have to keep trying ourselves.
Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to touch on with your argument, Redneck, before I get into how I think there might be two separate mentalities going on in your argument, one of the things I would say is kind of what Ginger was saying is just because we can't do anything to alter the course of climate, you made a similar argument to what I made, right? Which is that humans adapt over time to their environment. That's what I was saying, is we can adapt to deal with the consequences of climate change because the climate is changing. You and I may not believe that that humans are involved to the same degree that a lot of the other people on the panel will believe that, right? But it is the human's job to make sure that humans can persist past it. So when you say this conversation is useless, we shouldn't even have it, my evidence against that would be we have come up with brilliant irrigation systems that use less water. We've come up with biological crop protection systems that don't require us to spray chemicals all over our food in order to make it edible. We have made drones that can spray that crop protection, so we use less of it and less of it drifts into the air. If by having these conversations, we get to those solutions, right? Not legislative like barriers to the average man, but if the conversation gets us to those agricultural technology solutions that just make food easier to produce, then why is the conversation useless? The other thing I'd want to, oh, sorry. Yeah, I did name you by name.
That's fine. I actually want to point out something. I just looked up the coverage that you said about Time Magazine. 1977 coming Ice Age. Time Magazine cover is a fake. It wasn't a real article.
Okay, well, and that's important, but
Amazing.
I mean, we'll get to that, but hold on. The thing I want
Snopes,
to
was that
talk to you
Snopes telling you
about-
that, or is there a real?
hold
No,
on.
I just looked it up.
So the thing I want to talk to you about real quick, Redneck, is you believe that humans didn't cause climate change, right? That if there is climate change happening, it's not human caused.
That's not what
Okay.
I swear to
Correct
fucking God, y'all don't
me.
listen. You don't
So
fucking listen.
So you believe humans cause climate change?
I don't call spilling oils in a fucking river climate change.
Is the climate changing?
Okay. Well then, why don't we
Climate has
start? Let's
always
start at the
changed.
very,
Okay,
very start.
but
Let's start at the
climate has
very, very
always
start.
changed.
Wait. I'm
This is
so
gonna-
close. I'm
this is
so
gonna go-
close. I'm
I-
so close. I promise.
Let's let
Okay.
him finish. We'll go back to you. Bryce.
Because we're almost to distilling this, right? So you said the climate is always changing, but humans spilling oil in the ocean or whatever doesn't mean we caused it. So you're saying humans didn't cause climate change, correct? That climate is changing and we didn't cause it. Is that
Always.
okay? Cool.
It's always
So-
changing. What? Okay,
But
let me
hold
ask.
on,
Wait.
wait,
Don't
but-
preface. Don't put the post it. Oh, and we didn't cause it. I just said to you that if we spill shit in a fucking river, that's an environmental disaster. If you want to lump all the shit together as climate fucking change, I'm not going to
No,
agree with you there.
Dude, no, I agree, and I agree that I don't know that humans
don't
were
add
the
words to
definite
it.
cause. I
We're
don't think the
looping.
humans were the definite cause of climate change. But what I'm saying is, if you believe that humans weren't the reason why the temperatures are rising right now, then human adaptation to that has allowed us to make more food than ever before, despite the fact that the climate is changing, right? It goes back on your argument that humans can't solve problems that they didn't create. Because if humans didn't create the temperature rise issue, but we've created very good solutions to persist despite it, then humans can create solutions for problems they didn't create. And in fact, we've done so over and over again very efficiently. And that allows us, people who don't think that humans are the primary driver of climate change, to enter the conversation and bring up good solutions. But when you wave your hands and say, we can't have this conversation at all, then you're allowing only the regulation against the individual solutions to be presented because you aren't entering the conversation. You're saying, I refuse to have it.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter whether humans do or don't cause climate change. The climate is changing. Jeb is right there, right? We can point towards things that we do that contribute to the change, right? We have these. I know for some reason Redneck doesn't think that greenhouse gases exist, but you know CO2 is blanketing our
No,
planet.
I was just going back through and finding those articles that I was talking about. So I'll have to link her to show her the articles of the actual time. There's
Well-
3 different ones back in the 70s. So I'll show her.
Okay, well,
Go ahead, keep talking.
cool.
Show
So,
me.
Yeah,
so
what
like,
he's referring to, what he's saying is, he wants to disconnect the apocalyptic doom saying about climate because we've been wrong about it in the past, and he's saying science is a dynamic thing wherein it's not a finished process. There's nothing empirical, as in black and white. It's a dynamic process going forward, and we've gotten it wrong in the past, and we may be wrong about this. So doing these overarching things, we may be going in the wrong direction or whatever, or these are market solutions to things that we're causing. But what I'm not getting is what's the difference between oil in a river and other industrial waste? Oil in the river and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are both forms of environmental damage.
Don't
Because,
greenhouse gases.
listen-
You immediately went from oil to greenhouse gases, like
What's
it's the
the
big
difference?
denominator.
They're
Because fucking
bad things
volcanoes.
that you're
A
releasing
volcano,
into-
dude. A volcano, one release. Mount St. Helens. Go back in 1989. Look at, or 80, it was late
produced
80s.
a lot of
Mount St. Helens.
CO2. You're right. It produced a
There's way more,
shitload.
way
But Redneck,
Way
we
fucking
don't. We didn't cause Mount St. Helens to erupt, but we do put out our own like fuckload of CO2 every single year across the entire world,
Okay.
right? Like
I don't want to be the
metric
one to sit here and
tons
tell
of
you
it.
that other countries don't give a fuck. And if you, I said earlier, if you
Other
could get
countries,
the
Other
didn't cause
countries-
volcanoes
Have
either.
you
Jab,
moved on from that?
Jeb, hush. I said if
Redneck, it
everybody
doesn't
could do the
matter.
same thing
It
in-
doesn't matter because
For
we
fuck's
still.
sakes, y'all don't listen.
I
You
know
only
what
hear
you're
you wanna
arguing.
hear.
I know what
Let's
you're
let
saying.
Red- let's
Okay,
let-
go for it. Go
let's
for it,
let him
bud.
say.
You
Let's
don't.
let him say.
I
it.
said
That's
if
it.
y'all
Go
want to
for it.
pick anything, pick fucking anything that the whole world will do together. Fine.
Nothing.
Sex.
It doesn't mean that it's gonna fucking fix anything. If we all say no more CO2, all electric cars, what are you gonna do about the waste the batteries produce?
Batteries.
You guys only want to
There's
address
less.
No,
No.
the fuck you don't.
You can't.
don't
No,
think
but
about
no,
all
but
of
no.
it.
You
don't
can.
think about
We've
all of
already
it.
thought.
No,
No, we
you
have
don't.
thought about
Net
this
benefit.
because we've
That
started
would be
talking
a
about
net
like
benefit.
different.
It's
No,
not a
listen,
perfect
because
solution.
there are
It would be
places that
better
we've already
for-
allocated.
Your brains don't let
There's
you
places
think
that we've
shit all
already
the way through.
allocated
You
in
wanna yell
deserts.
being stupid
No,
at other
Red.
people.
Okay,
You
Redneck.
motherfuckers don't think about
Redneck.
it all. You
Listen,
don't.
no,
I-
because
I-
we've
I-
already
I-
allocated
I-
different
I-
areas.
Hold on.
Guys, I
I
want to
just-
cut in here. Okay, let's give Sondsol a moment to say what he wants to say, but I do want to like kind of shift the topic a little bit. Okay, so go ahead.
Ooh,
Okay.
I can do
I'm gonna
that.
prove that I can hear still.
Listen, all I want to say is that we have already allocated different areas in like the Mojave Desert to fucking dump nuclear waste and dump fucking batteries and shit like that. There are things that we've already started thinking forward on this, right? There are ways that we can try to reduce the amount of carbon that's in our atmosphere, right? There are things that we can do to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide, like planting a fuck-ass load of trees to try and do carbon capture, because guess what? Trees have to get carbon in them to grow. So that's one way that we can pull it out of the fucking atmosphere. You know, you learn in fucking first grade that when you breathe out, you produce CO2. The plants take the CO2 in and they produce oxygen. That's what we need to do. We need to plant more trees. We need to like create more like algae in the fucking seas. We need to reduce the acidity of the seas that we're contributing to by having all these fucking oil spills in the oceans and shit, because the acidity in the ocean rising is killing all the fucking coral reefs and all the algae and all the fucking fish, and that's releasing more fucking carbon into the fucking atmosphere. All these different things are like little bitty things that grow further down the chain rather. So like when you say that we can't do anything and all these things have already been done, or like, you know, like they're just going to happen either way. No, we're fucking human beings. We literally change the environment around us to suit our needs, right? If we want to build fucking, if we want to grow some crops, we dig trenches that takes water hundreds of miles to where we want to grow those fucking crops, right? We can do these sorts of things, but not if we have a defeatist or like apathetic attitude towards, like you do, Redneck.
There's an
So-
intrinsic contradiction in what he's saying, but he's talking about, yeah, we can do things, we can undo the things that man did, but climate change is the thing that man did. Anthropogenic climate change is specifically the net positive towards the global heat, the climate change that is as a result of man and other industrial processes dumping emissions into the atmosphere. So there's literally no difference between fucking garbage in a river and shit in the atmosphere. Just think about it as a river of air.
Oh, the macro level.
Okay,
you know,
Stardust,
as
here you go.
exciting as
Here's
wait,
the answer I'm
over
going to
here,
give, and
wait,
I'm done. I'll give this answer. I'm not going to say another fucking word. I won't say another fucking word after this.
Go for it.
Sondsol, here's where you guys are missing. You just said we could change the fucking earth to make it our way. We could build roads and we could put rivers down hundreds of fucking miles. You're goddamn right. And the Romans did it. They did it way back in time. So did the Aztecs, way back in time. Mayans, Egyptians, they did fucking miraculous wonders, and we still can't even answer today. But here we are talking about geopolitical power and the move of climate change. It got started in the late 70s and 80s. There's Newsweek articles, there's Time magazine articles that wasn't the fake image that you looked up and tried to body me with. There's about 15 different articles. I can send you the links to them on the side if you want. From Newsweek was one of them for sure. They talked about the coming of Ice Age and the coming of the Ice Age. And for us in science as young kids going into middle school, coming up into the middle school, this was big for us, right? We didn't have all this like internet like you guys have. Anything in technology was cool as fuck. I love the fact of science. I love the fact that we were going to talk about climate change. I moved north from the south. So don't think that I don't like 4 seasons, I don't like snow, and I don't like all this other bullshit. I love nature. I love land. I own land. I own nature. I want to live in it as clean as possible, and I want to be as self-reliant as possible. This bullshit that we're talking about, is governments using taxation and money to claim that they have a fucking problem that they created, yet they say we as human beings need to fix. If they would just quit fucking up the planet could fix itself a lot quicker.
You know,
that is
I'm
my
so-
point, and that's where I'm at.
Okay, I'm so glad that you decided to log on the internet.
We remedy climate
wait,
change
wait,
with.
guys.
Bryce
So
hasn't
you
talked
just
a lot.
agree that we should do stuff to stop climate change. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So, what I think one thing I kind of want to redirect us a little bit. Okay, so one thing that recently I was talking about climate change with a group of people, and one thing that I thought was really interesting is that certain areas of the world are not as concerned about climate change because the weather heating up is actually good for them and could actually lead to a shift in like. This is a theory. This is like it could lead to a shift in the global power, right? So there are other areas of the world where when things heat up, there are going to be natural resources that can be taken all year round. And right now we can't do that. And those places will become new geopolitical superpowers. So that was kind of like what I was kind of trying to ask here. Like if you guys have any thoughts about things like that as well?
Yeah, I do. I honestly can't wait for and honestly, I'm gonna end the last topic and lead into this. So I'm firstly really glad that we've now seen more evidence that the majority of the things that Redneck reads are like Time magazines from the 1970s. That's where he gets all his information from. So I think
Sean,
with regards to the new topic,
planting trees is carbon capture.
lost my train of thought again.
Okay, hold on. So that's what I was kind of.
What do you
talking
think it
about with
is?
Redneck.
Oh, I just had to get a band. I had to get a little pop in on Redneck's bitch ass so
What?
that I could.
I
don't know what I'm about to say. I'm just saying.
Redneck, he's your biggest ally on this panel. All right.
Yeah, I'm referring to earlier in the conversation when I was.
I wasn't talking to
discussing with
Jim.
you.
I was
Hey.
talking to the Bryce live.
So
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
no.
saying is we need to have, this is my point of saying we need to, even if we don't believe in the anthropomorphic aspect of climate change, right? We need to, anthropogenic,
Wait.
sorry. We need to still have the conversation so that we can come to quality solutions, right? Because while I may not think that we can alter the course of climate change, right? I think we can do more to, as what Stardust said, remain a country where we have resources that can be reaped year round. Because we are coming up with more efficient agriculture. We are coming up with carbon capture technology, which, like you were saying, right? Oh, all of the problems we solve don't amount to Mount St. Helens erupting once. Well, what if, because we want to address the problems we caused, we come up with a carbon capture technology that can mitigate the damage to the environment that an eruption of Mount St. Helens comes to? Then it's a win-win for everybody. I think we need to participate in these conversations so that we can come to better energy solutions, better agriculture solutions, so that, as Stardust says, America can remain the place where we can both import and export more than almost anybody else year round, because we have adapted to the harshest climates. So if the climate does snap back and come to a more habitable point, we are better equipped than anybody to just become a fucking production powerhouse, because our food takes less water and crop protection to create, and we're able to capture carbon in the atmosphere and make sure it doesn't do damage to our lungs. If nothing else, if you don't believe in the greenhouse effect, it's still not great for us to be thrown off of the natural ratio of like 70% nitrogen, 20% oxygen, and 10% whatever else air that we have, right? It's still not good for us to inhale the waste from all of these facilities that we have producing things. Why are we going to say don't have the conversation when we could say let's jump into the conversation and create solutions that don't affect the individual too severely, that can still solve the same problems?
So I remember the thing that I wanted to say, and it has to do with the segue that Stardust tried to make. When we are trying to talk about like geopolitical, like international relations, shit like that, I'm excited because, like I said, the one thing that I didn't get to say at the start of this other topic was that I don't really give a shit, right? Like everything in the world and everything in existence, everything in the universe is fucking absurd. And I don't think that we should really be too pressed on that big of a deal. We do our due diligence. We do our absolute best with our best capacity because we like living here. We like the earth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter. And on that note, I like the idea that as climate change progresses, California, Nevada, Texas, all these places are probably going to be uninhabitable, and parts of Canada are going to become more habitable, and parts of probably like around where I live are going to become a lot more tropical. And so I invite the United States military to like team up with the Canadian government, and we can just like get everybody else, like all the Republicans and Democrats, to just like fuck off, and we can finally achieve like a Canadian New World Order, and like finally achieve the Earth's true potential.
Can all enter
Before we go,
That took a long time to do a really unfunny meme answer, bro.
Yeah.
before we
That
go
was a
any
long walk
further,
for a short sip
before we
of
go any
water.
further,
Yeah, it was.
before we go any further, there are 10 minutes left on this topic. I want to kind of like maybe,
I got one.
So yes, I will go to you soon, Mythic, but I just want to ask Aristocracy what she thinks about the Canadian World Order. I thought it was a funny joke.
Thank you.
But Canadian World Order, what?
Yeah, you don't know.
She wasn't listening to
I'll send you the memo. Don't worry about it.
She wasn't listening to Bryce.
A
Fair enough.
fucking
Fair enough.
leaf.
I only listen to him 50% of the time too.
She
so.
tuned Bryce out.
Yeah, that's so. It's okay. I get that often, and
A fucking leaf.
yeah, fucking leave.
Okay. Anyway, shut up, Flamenco. Okay. Anyways, yes, Mythic Politics. Why don't you go ahead?
I like the idea that there would be some onus, some shift to some green technology that would make some country a geopolitical superpowerhouse, like the idea that China's going to invent some climate or some carbon capture or some green energy or some new battery solution that can actually store some solar or geothermal energy if we're actually able to use something consistently to build it up. However, I don't think that with market-based solutions, which ultimately what these neoliberal governments are going to do, I think that they're myopic. I think they're short-sighted. I don't think you can brute force it. I think that they're going to go for short-term profits. And I don't think that there's any, I don't think those verticals of the green technology, I don't think that there's any runway for those companies to pour money into them without quarterly earnings. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think, and if and when someone does produce some carbon capture technology or a better battery technology or something, China would steal the IP or we would steal the IP or something. So it's not about who would do it first. It's about, the technology being implemented. That would be from R&D, but I don't think that geopolitical powers are going to be made or created by the applications of novel technology from as a deterrence to global warming. But I do think that other advantageous economical positions can be had by other countries, like with Russia. When it warms up, they're going to have more arable soil. Same thing with Canada. So they would get a net increase in agriculture and other stuff. So I think that we will get a shifting in the geopolitical tides as a result of climate change, but not from the technology that would be invented to stop it.
So yeah,
4 minutes on this topic.
I only know what I know, right? And there are a lot of venture capital for funds and capital firms in general that work in agriculture. I may or may not write for one of them, and that is how I got most of my background on the agricultural tech stuff. I agree. Carbon capture, that was more me sort of trying to show what the use of, say, someone who is in a position where they don't believe in climate change really at all to still participate in the conversations. But there is a lot of investment and a lot of money involved in like smart irrigation, right? Which is basically taking like your smart thermostat technology and moving it toward the irrigation of a farm, right? So you basically have moisture sensors that allow you to stop your sprinklers automatically. So you save money on water. It makes sense for the farmer. It makes sense for the firm creating it because the farmers are willing to spend on it. They're making money on it. Drone technology for crop protection, right? Drones have been used in agriculture usually as just an imaging tool. Now they're being used to spray crop protection so that the ground sprayers or airplanes are usually either compacting the soil if they're a ground sprayer, or airplanes are so high that they're spraying that crop protection everywhere and damaging the surrounding environments. There's a significant profit motive in the drone technology that allows you to spray it really precisely, because for farmers, that means they spend less on crop protection and they don't risk damaging crops that don't need that protection on them.
Are we conflating water and climate change, though? Are we conflating water scarcity with climate?
No, so I think that's a worthwhile point where I think I don't know that there is a lot of technology that's going to push us out of where climate change is going. I think there's a lot of technology that'll allow us to handle the consequences. That might be where we disagree, but I think there's significant profit motive in the technology that'll help us alleviate the consequences, because if you're going to experience those consequences as a farmer or as a consumer of farmed goods, there's a significant profit motive in those farms still being able to produce what they are able to now and make money.
Can I calmly just ask this question, though? I'm going to ask it from this standpoint. I think you guys are truly misunderstanding my point. You just gave a whole bunch of examples of crops and how we're doing more things more efficiently. Yet we're doing it with chemicals that you said would affect the rest of the environment. No.
I said biological very specifically early on.
You said planes flying over, that if the stuff, they fly so high, it would spray and ruin the other areas. And that's a fact. Farmers have problems with toxins in their chemicals. And that's why people have a big thing with GMOs and all these other kind of plants that have been created in labs. Hang on, Jeb. I want to make this point. I would rather look at how do we use nature its fucking self to do these things, because that's what we're getting back to.
Yeah,
we're getting back to that, right? We're getting back to, oh, this is organic. Motherfucker, when I was young, everything was organic. There was no such thing as organic.
I'm
back in my 70s. It was being grown in the ground naturally. Oh my God, for fuck's sakes. Like, you understand that everything that you've mentioned is batteries and chemicals.
Nope. No,
and two things that have they're secondaries.
Let me respond real quick. So one of the solutions right now, actually, that I've written quite a bit about, is replacing chemical pesticides with biologicals using mRNA technology that allow for pesticides that are so targeted that you can specifically engineer an mRNA crop protection, so a non-chemical biological crop protection, to say only kill Colorado potato beetles but not kill honeybees. You can use a crop protection applicant that is not chemical, doesn't harm humans. In fact, it only harms one genus, or not even one genus,
all those stomach problems they're having.
Species. I guarantee they're not due to mRNA pesticide technology, without harming any other living being. And
there's
those
studies talking about GERD and everything else that we're having coming into this shit from that, man. Come on.
From mRNA biological pest control technology?
Biological, created out of nature. We synthesized it, put it into the fucking plant life. mRNA. Yes, they believe it.
All right. I gotta break it up. Break it up. Okay, Ginger, and then we may have Loner Box coming in to ask a question.
I just I want to know, Redneck, where did you send those articles to?
Wait, and whenever you wanted me to send it, do you want me to just text it right to you, message it to you, or do you want me to send it to a chat? Which chat do I put it in?
I mean, you can just message it to me if you want to. You just click on my name and send the message.
Oh, he's down in Voice General.
Oh, he is?
Oh,
he's in the lobby.
Okay. Yeah, so when I say mRNA technology, I'm not talking about engineering the plants so you can pour more chemicals on them. I'm saying the actual crop protectant solution itself is a biological that is engineered to only kill one type of pest, and it actually doesn't harm other pests or humans or any other creature
Right.
that consumes it. So
Does that make the cows
I think there
fart
was a
less?
slight misunderstanding. I don't know about the cow farting.
I do want to. I know Lonerbox only has a few minutes, but he wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, just redneck. So I'm not mischaracterizing you. What were you saying about Mountain Helens?
In the
Volcanoes?
80s, the amount of CO2 that a volcano like that eruption emits is greater than the damage we currently are doing.
That's
And
actually
one
okay,
shot
that's-
is
No, that's
Here we go.
there was a study done on this. It was about the equivalent of like 9 days of human output around the world. That's one thing. Not to mention, volcanic
one
eruptions. Volcanic eruptions.
one volcano eruption.
A pyroclastic flow, which barely ever happens, right? Second of all, as well as erupting and emitting CO2, volcanoes also emit sulfur dioxide, which reflects solar radiation and cools the Earth. So, no, this is like an ancient fucking boomer meme. Like this has been done since like the last 20 years. It's like, yeah, you get about Mountain Helens and
How is my statement of memes when I said it releases more than we do? Now you're coming and saying, well, you're saying, well, it's 9 days worth. It's 9 days worth. No, you're just coming in to try to look. If every one of these motherfuckers want to get on my dick, look, get on this way. Mount from here. Don't mount there.
Well,
for fuck's sakes, you bitches just want to talk about.
Well,
9
so
days
hold on.
worth for 2 specific volcanoes which emit pyroclastic flows. Most volcanic eruptions don't do that. And second of all, the fact that they emit CO2 is also kind of like counterbalanced by the fact that they also emit sulfur dioxide, which causes a cooling effect. So no, it's just anyway. I'm really past my bedtime.
So if that's the case, Loner, why can't we fly around and spray that in the wind? Then let's spray some sulfur dioxide in the stuff. Let's do.
He doesn't respect the subject matter experts or the epistemological authorities. He doesn't believe in science or quote unquote empirical evidence. He doesn't believe in that. So it's an epistemologically crippled thing he's saying, because the people who are telling him it's an issue he's saying are motivated by market pressures. It's so, I mean, I don't know how you would get through to him.
How do you think they're not? How do you think they're not?
I have a base. I don't think that the climatologists are fabricating
every
data.
Scientist, every climatologist is funded by what?
Soros, the Jewish cabal.
No, I'm asking. Come on, fuck you.
Well,
you want to be serious or not? You want to be serious or not?
I want to be serious. Do you? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm asking an honest fucking question. You're saying that none of this is motivated by finance, and her question was power and influence.
None of it is.
And bottom line is, this shit was invented in the U.S. Nobody was talking about this shit before the U.S. Is that fair? Fair? We're the world leaders, right?
That's true.
Fucking climate change was a topic. When? When did it start? You're old enough to know.
This sucks because we really need Stardust really
Me a
quick.
fucking idiot that doesn't believe in shit, but you ain't answering a fucking question.
Stardust, can we bring someone on? Can we bring someone else on that has an IQ of 4 so that this is less of a dog pile?
Please. Okay, we got to move forward. Okay.
I feel like whenever I get a chance to respond, someone jumps in.
I'm sorry.
Did we lose aristocracy?
Yeah,
while
so
ago.
I did want to announce Eris. Eris was not feeling too good, so she dropped out. But you can find her information in the description. Guys, check out the YouTube description. Eris and her information are there. You should check her out. She's very based. Secondly, we have a couple of super chats. Okay. Rob with the $5 says, what is the #1 policy or law we could change or put in place to curb mass shootings? Bonus points for not saying assault rifle. Who wants to
I mean,
I do.
Fuck, it's really
mass
difficult.
shootings and like all that sort of stuff. At least the current rhetoric around it, especially with assault rifles, like it's just really dumb, and it's based off trying to scare the shit out of people.
I think it's not
like-
based off of trying to scare people. I think it's based off of like seeing what guns are being used in some of these things. Now, it's not going to help anything. I don't like disagree that it's like
but,
fucking stupid to
but,
try
like-
and ban them, but
like when you look
take
at
all
like
the best solution is to take all the antisocial young grade schoolers who are most liable to do the mass shootings, throw them into that same said volcano from before. That way you get a double solution. You appease the volcano gods. You maybe clog the volcano, which is apparently doing more than anything else to cause climate change, and then you get rid of all the mass shooters all at once.
you're still immolating all those children. You're still immolating all those children. That's burning all that carbon back into the atmosphere, buddy. Like you're unfortunately. unfortunately, that's not
Okay,
going to work.
Bryce,
think
Bryce,
about the
Bryce,
lifetime-
Bryce,
Think about the
Bryce
lifetime
wants-
carbon
Let's-
Bryce
footprint.
wants to solve the question.
Let's not kill kids.
Yeah.
Fucking
killing kids is
lame.
probably
So,
not
yeah,
cool.
no, this is fucking lame.
I'm
All of a sudden.
gonna take the cold take. I'm gonna take the lame take. The shit.
So you
lib
notice
take,
the more
whatever.
that you have the bitches talking.
So
fucking just
I don't think we should kill kids. I think that we should have something a little more outside of the box, right? We got to think about this. Americans in their idiocy have been talking about this for the last 20 or 30 years, right?
Hey.
And it probably even
Appeasing
longer.
the volcano
And
gods wasn't thinking outside of the
I
box.
think what's really needed is we need like a government mandated cat girl girlfriend boyfriend system, right? If everybody
It'll
had
solve
that
all the
to look
lonely little
forward
boys,
to
yeah.
at age 18, I think this would just dramatically improve mental health. We wouldn't have so many like disaffected, disconnected male youth. Like it would just like we have less fem cells because fem cells could get their like dream husbando from anime or whatever. Like, and Elon Musk, like I'm telling you, like even I think everybody here has the opinion that technology and capitalism are fucking based and that we can handle all kinds of different problems. Well, I mean, except the guy with the weird hair color.
The based one, the based dude.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
That's
Okay.
it.
I felt like I was dominating a bit too much, and I don't want to make everybody in the entire world or a couple
Well, at
hundred
least
people
you
watching.
felt like that.
We still have
Given
a
the
couple
fact
more
that
students
I just
after.
wanted to finish my point though, but given the fact like a lot of the rhetoric around gun control in the U.S. is based off of assault rifles, which statistically are like making up less amounts of homicide in the U.S. compared to fucking people beating each other with their bare hands. It's all like it's all fear tactics to try to like scare people into thinking there's an actual like massive problem. The best way to
Hold
deter
on.
school shootings is to just when you're covering them in the media, don't open with blaring sirens. Spend a lot less time talking about the actual perpetrator of the shooting and more time on the victims, and you'll probably see a lot less idolization of these sorts of people, and therefore less school shootings.
Okay, I
or
think this
mass
is really
shootings in
fucking
general.
stupid. I think that
We
we should be ringing alarm bells when we start seeing on a like pretty consistent basis people walking into schools or walking into movie theaters or walking into nightclubs and fucking gunning people down. All right. The only reason that you're saying that this isn't a massive problem is because you've become used to it in the United States. I don't think that we should be enacting like wide sweeping like gun bans where we're getting rid of all AR-15s or all semi-automatic weapons. That's dumb as fuck, and it's probably not going to actually like solve the issue that we have, right? There are some gun control things that we can probably do. We can try to, create like longer wait times, red flag laws. Maybe the FBI starts no gun listing people the way that they no fly list people, and like as long as we have some kind of way for them to appeal that. Like there are different things that we can do to try and curb the actual problem of these mass shooting events, right? While trying to, without like getting rid of all guns, right? We expect there to be gang violence. We expect people to like kill themselves with guns. Like this is stuff that we expect to happen now that we've already opened the Pandora's box of all these guns in society, right? And there are solutions to those as well. But the solutions that we have for these mass shooting events are out there, right? It has to do not only with the gun things that I said before, but also trying to find some way to make people feel less disaffected, less incel-y. Not that they're all incel shootings, but losers on the internet.
I think the best bang for the buck would just be to double or triple the budget for therapy or counselors for people in grade school or middle school. I think that would be, and pour more money into identifying people with antisocial traits and making sure they have someone to talk to so they feel less atomized and isolated.
Well,
Yeah,
I think it'd be great if
I
we-
think
sorry.
I think that's
I-
a really good solution, the mental health aspect. I know people want to hear like the conservatives say that nothing should be done, right? Because that's what they expect us to do. But I think there's a lot of issues. So, right, if we're trying to mitigate mass shootings, we have to acknowledge most mass shootings happen through gang violence. So I would argue if your problem is school shootings, stop focusing so much on the blanket term of mass shootings, because the best solutions for mass shootings are going to target gangs, not antisocial
Yes,
children.
that's why I
because
said very
antisocial
specifically
children-
said
I
the
mean,
mass
gangs
shooting
kind of-
events,
No,
right?
I know,
Like
I know,
that's
I
why I
know.
also
That's what I'm-
said, yeah.
That's what I'm trying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. So, I think if we're talking about school shootings, right? School security is important, and I know people try to meme it. I don't think we need to do the one entry.
But it's not
multiple
just
exit
schools.
bullshit.
We also
No,
have
I
like Las
understand. Yeah,
Vegas.
yeah.
We also have the theater shootings, the nightclubs and shit
so
like that.
the issue
It's-
with most of these solutions is they involve red flag laws, right? Which eliminate due process for people to get their firearms taken away from them, and just based off of a report, right? So we need to start separating these, right, and say, what do we have a structure for and what don't we? We already have a structure for credible threats to someone's safety or other people's safety, right? That's the 5150 system. Not only can you take weapons away from those people, but you can also detain them in a mental health facility for 72 hours. What a red flag law isn't if you have a credible threat toward your safety or somebody else's. It is if somebody else decides that they want to report that you might, right? The government gets to take your gun and ask questions later. Where that can present an issue, and where waiting periods also present an issue, is say you're getting a gun because there is a recent change in your need for a gun. Yeah, sorry, I'll be real quick. So if there's a recent change in your need for a gun, that is like someone is threatening your life and the police won't do anything about it. Or say there's a domestic violence threat and the police won't do anything about it, right? Someone might come to your house and hurt you. Well, if you have a 14-day waiting period, they have 2 weeks to do it. If they have a red flag law, even when you get a gun, they can report you, get your gun taken away, and then do it. That's some of the problems that people have with red flag laws and waiting periods. Also, when you're looking at the theater shootings, the mass shootings at the grocery store and all that, they're premeditated. These people are okay with waiting 14 days to get their gun and then do it. There's no credible evidence that red flag laws or waiting periods are actually going to stop.
So you're talking about multiple different
Wait a minute,
things.
guys,
Okay,
guys,
sorry.
I'm
Yeah,
so
you're right.
sorry. I'm sorry. We have to get through these super chats. I know that
we'll talk about this on Sondsol though.
Yeah.
When you submit
I'm
a
so
super
fucking
chat,
triggered. I'm so
please,
fucking
for the
triggered.
love of
Holy fuck, I
God,
want to fight.
Don't give me a super chat that's going to launch us into a completely different topic when I already have topics planned out.
Yeah,
Anyway.
guns are huge, guys.
Seriously.
Some of them are
Okay,
small.
Shut up. Okay. Courtney came in with $10 to say Redneck is level 6. I'm not sure what that means, but I think she's a super fan. She's a super fan of Redneck. Courtney has been fangirling. No. She's been fangirling all night over Redneck.
Dude, keep throwing your ad hom bullshit out there. Be a bitch about things. Why don't you talk real? If you want to throw shade, I'll throw shade. But if you want to talk genuine, I'll talk genuine. Don't be a bitch.
Who are you talking to?
He knows what's
like
like.
me.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I thought you were talking Stardust. I was like, wait a second.
No. Okay. Will, with the 5 says, what about the rising acidity of the oceans, which destroys phytoplankton and in turn means more carbon is in the atmosphere?
That's what I brought
What
up.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Will. Aggressive Butter with $2 says, the day of the rake incoming. Beware.
Jesus fucking Christ. So fucking stupid.
I don't get it. I don't get the joke.
He's saying we stepped on a rake. And
No, never mind.
Oh.
Because Canadians,
It's a
Canada
Canadian
has a
thing.
leaf on its flag, so the ethnic cleansing
Oh.
of Canadians is going to be the day of the rake. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an
Yeah,
old,
good luck
old-
with that.
TOS.
Day of the rope for Canadians.
Yeah,
TOS,
good luck with
no
that. Night of Long
genocide, guys.
Knives, like, good try. Good luck.
Night of no
Okay.
maple syrup.
Yeah.
All right. Topic number 2. And I can't believe we're only on topic number 2. But we're making our right time. It's 9:26. Okay. Topic number 2. Public shaming
10:26.
I'm sorry.
So
What did you
it's
say?
It's 10:26.
Okay, so you're just going to fight with me about the time now, about what time
Yes.
zone it is. Yeah.
We
Okay. All right.
abolish abolish.
See, Bryce, this is why nobody listens to you. This is why nobody listens to you. This is why I only listen to you half of the time that you speak.
Mute the
other half-
Canadian. Mute the
Listen.
Canadian.
Listening to me half the
Just
time is still
self-mute.
gonna benefit your life so much. So you're welcome.
Okay. Okay. Public shaming. Topic number 2. Public shaming / cancellation. Where is the limit for how far someone should go? Attacking someone's family, doxing. If shaming inadvertently leads someone to suicide, should something be done? Is the usage of public shaming off limits for parents of children? I gave an example article as well where there's this example of this girl. I think she was 12. Her father kind of publicly shaved her hair off after she disobeyed him, and she ended up committing suicide a few days later because that video went viral, I guess, of him, publicly shaming her. We've seen this before as well on social media. People will post videos of them, like, doing things that are supposed to humiliate their children or something like that. Who wants to comment first?
I do. I think it's something that can be used when we need to do things that are not punitive. So when we have crimes that are committed that don't necessarily merit a punitive action in response to it. And I feel like it's something that we can only entrust to people that are like trained and experts in this. So I think that we should maybe, I don't know if it should be public or if it should be private, but I feel like there could be like a public shaming office where when people do like really, really dumb shit, we make them like walk down Main Street and do like, but obviously the reason why you need them to be trained and experts is because you have to be aware of like what is actually going to be like psychologically damaging for this person versus what is just going to benefit from like a swift kick in the ass, right? Because that is ultimately what we want the like shaming stuff to be. It'd be like a swift kick in the ass for somebody that has their head too far up their ass. But we also want people that can evaluate when something is appropriate versus just using it all the time because they're vindictive and they get caught up in like the delicious treatment of people that they think are deplorable.
Yeah, I think that especially for parents, right? Relativity is a wonderful tool when you're deciding punishment, especially for your kids, right? So if you're going to shame someone publicly or even your kid, it should be relative to the crime they committed, right? So if your kid was bullying a kid at school, you should, in front of all the other kids, the punishment should be they are forced to apologize and admit that they did wrong in front of all of the other kids. It should not be to buzz their head in front of your entire Facebook friend group and everybody in the world. If they bullied a kid in the schoolyard, they should have to apologize to the kid in the schoolyard. I think where the public shaming thing more often gets talked about is with like public figures. And I think publicly calling out public figures for what they did wrong is really important, right? Because you spread misinformation or you disrespect somebody publicly online, then you should be called out for spreading misinformation or should be called out publicly online. But where you mentioned in the prompt going after people's family, doxing people, I'm assuming that relates primarily to public figures. It's never okay because guess what? Their family never committed the crime. So there is no relative punishment for their family. And then when you dox somebody, you don't know who lives with them or even lives around them, who could get caught in that crossfire. And again, there is no relative punishment for people that you aren't aware of living on the premises or living around them, or even for them, because if they didn't swat somebody else, you can't swat them, which is often what doxing can lead to. So first rule, relative punishment, and two, understand that the punishment you decide to levy might lead to more severe things that you also need to consider in that relativity function. So if you're going to dox somebody, you're like, oh, well, people knowing where they live isn't a big deal. Yeah, well, somebody swatting them is, especially if they're like a gun owner. And we've seen how like certain no-knock raids and things can happen for gun owners. You could result in them being harmed or killed. Don't dox people because that is never going to plug in right in that relativity function.
I think doxing is cringe, but when it comes to like how far people we can go in like a conversation or trying to like cancel someone or like fucking with someone, I think that you can meet someone with whatever force that they're willing to bring to you. If someone wants to fuck with you based off of your looks, you can fuck with them based off of their looks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If they want to bring your family into it and they want to fuck with you about your family, you can fuck with them about their family. I think that when it gets to the sort of, you know, the doxing territory, that shit's cringe as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems we're talking about two different things. If you're talking about people publicly shaming, I see a perverse incentive for parents, not unlike that cringe fucking meme where they had a dog with the sign, hey, I ate all of mommy's graham crackers and now look at me, and they hold the sign up into the dog wincing for social media. People doing that with their kids for clicks or for whatever, for viral TikToks or whatever the fuck it is. I see a perverse incentive there where a parent is overreacting so as to make a meal out of whatever little minor transaction that the child did. I think that's one issue. I don't agree with that, but like doxing someone's family is a complete other issue almost, I feel like. That's very cringe, but doxing, there's a gradation to that. Are you talking about just mentioning someone's name or giving families of their house a blueprint, pictures of the family, a blueprint of their house, an address, and, you know, their social security number? There's doxing, and then there's just like mentioning someone's name. So there's a gradation on that. I think most of it's pretty cringe.
Is this a person that publicly goes by that name? Because like doxing generally just means disclosing information that the person's not like actively giving. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, posting somebody's PO box is not the same as you know, posting
Swatting.
like their home address or anything, especially if they're the one that has it like on their website or anything.
Yeah, that was the
so
point that I made on other panels about doxing and stuff, is that to me, doxing is like the early 2000s version of doxing, where there's like this comprehensive like document that breaks
Yeah.
down like your entire existence, which then somebody could then use to like tamper with your life or like fuck with your life or harass you.
Like literally like a paste bin file that has like all
Yeah.
your pertinence in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Or,
so
like
I
somebody could like shut off your utilities. Like they could actually
Yeah.
like actually terrorize you with this stuff. Whereas I feel like it's been so watered down because we fucking love to do this on social media. People, and I fucking hate this trend. People have no concern for the word use when they tweet shit. And I'm not talking about Star. Like I don't care about her like honking the night away. I'm talking about people that like misuse words like doxing, and they just maybe it could be in that example be
Who's misusing the
used
word doxing?
like so
Okay.
many
A
people
lot of
on
people
Twitter
do.
like
Okay.
and it literally
it's
if
a
you
living
Mike
language.
from PA is one of those people.
Yeah, I mean, do
Yeah.
we agree though?
Yeah.
Do we
That's
agree
true.
that do we agree that sharing like identifying information that person might not want to be out there is doxing? Would that be a good definition of it? Because I would
Depends on the
argue.
intent.
Because I would argue that like say sharing someone who goes by like a business name or a stream name's personal name, right? That might be something they want to avoid because in the modern internet age, if like a whole barrage of people hate them, they can then go to that person's Facebook profile or whatever and see where they work and then barrage their employer and get their job lost, right? So there is usually like intentionality behind most people going by our computer names, where we would rather there be a degree of separation there, where if people were looking up our full names, most likely they don't have the worst intention, but people with the worst intention equipped with that information can do a lot of damage.
I think that there's always going to be a delta. There's always going to be differential in between the information that's pertinent to the public and the information somebody wants out there. That's the whole reason for investigative journalism. The companies don't want their stuff out there. However, sometimes there's a public need, but I would argue that with people, unless there's like severe actions in the past or hypocrisy or something that shows that they're a bad actor or whatever, if you're doing stuff to harm them, to scare them as a form of like stochastic terrorism or whatever, to put fear into them, to change what they're talking about by like putting out pictures of their family or something like that, that's obviously bad. But you know, corporations can get fucked.
So what do you guys
Oh,
think about?
wait, were you talking about the what's that asshole's name? Taylor Renz, like her doxing that Twitter
Taylor
account
Renz.
shit?
I don't think that was necessarily doxing.
That was
but-
100% doxing, dude. That was 100% doxing.
Okay, how? But like, the only thing is,
She posted the lady's fucking work address. What are you fucking talking about, dude?
that may be, but that's an address of a company. That's a little bit
That she
different.
works
And
for, yeah.
That you can find someone
that's-
through.
but
Yeah.
it's not the same as like a lib outlet like Vox. The Vox readers are. It's not like a 4chan board, or it's not like 8kun. There's not going to be like a school shooter writing a manifesto who's going to go visit her. It's some fucking liberal wine mom reading it.
You don't
Extremely-
know
No,
that.
But if it's posted on Twitter, you get.
Yeah.
Hold on,
You have
hold on.
no
If
fucking
If you
clue.
post it on Twitter, you're getting all the people from 4chan and Twitter then.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
The people that bitch about that Twitter account are like absolutely neurotic, insane people. Like absolute 100 fucking %. They are engaged. Oh, whoops. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. They engage in like 100% neurotic behavior where they're like actively saying libs of TikTok is actively trying to kill me. So if people are saying that and then you give them like more pertinent information about where they live or where you can find them, there's definitely like the risk that somebody's going to have a fucking mental health moment and go out and like try to do something about it. Like and again, if somebody like if I said that like you worked in if the Taylor Renz article had said that she worked in real estate and just kept it at that, that's like a needle in a fucking haystack. She works at this office for this company, probably has about maybe 10 employees. Yeah, no, people are gonna figure out who that is real fucking quick. No fucking way, dude. That is 100% doxing.
It could be. I don't know exactly the nature of the information that was put in. I understand.
Well,
it
then
was
how can
extracted
you
after the fact.
wait? If you don't know the,
You
if
brought it up. I wasn't even talking about that. You
just
interjected
you
it.
just said that you didn't think it was doxing. How are you able to give a take on something that you don't know the fucking circumstances
Because
around.
when I heard it described the first time, I was like, that's whatever. And people were talking about that picture of her at her front door as released as doxing, but the lady herself uploaded that. The lady herself uploaded that, so like there was contention of what was released by whom.
Okay, I kind of don't believe you when you said that you weren't aware about the circumstances around it.
You interjected this whole Taylor Lorenz thing into the conversation.
Yeah, and you're the one that confidently said that you didn't think it was doxing.
I didn't. I said I kind of I think I even said kinda. You're hyper focusing
There's no
on a
such thing as-
thing that
there's no
you
gradations
introduced
here.
into the
I don't know if we're
conversation
on what you're
that I don't
saying,
give a
yeah.
fuck
What?
about.
Okay.
Sondsol, your camera went off. I'm not sure if you're aware.
Oh shit.
Mythic is a living document. Okay, he's saying the
So-
doxing is a living document, and that the definition may change, which I think we can agree with to an extent. I think I agree with Flamenco that, and I believe I forgot who else said this, but basically, if someone isn't openly sharing, not just if it's out there, if someone isn't openly sharing, identifying details about themselves, if you are purposefully sharing that, you're probably doxing, probably like 90% likelihood.
So
Yeah.
are we considering doxing and deplatforming the same?
No.
Right?
No.
Are we doing that?
No, if we want to talk about
Like,
deplatforming, we
you
can talk
dox
more
someone
about
to get
that.
them
Public
fired.
shaming thing.
You dox them to get them fired. You are
Sometimes,
publicly
yeah.
shaming them.
Sometimes, yeah. You can also
Deplatforming is
doing it to
different.
try to like intimidate them and scare them. Generally, I would say like most political doxing is to intimidate people.
Yeah, and like deplatforming is different because if someone has a massive platform and you're reporting them for things they say on that platform to their employer because they got doxxed, it's like, well, yeah, that's their platform. Like their employer knows. Like that's why it's not the same. But like a good example is like I guess of common courtesy. If people are wondering, like I heard Sondsol's real name once, and I wanted to make a joke to him about it. But like I don't know, I've never heard him personally share his real name. So just as a caution, I don't make jokes about it on like social media or streaming, just because I don't know. Not even like I know he.
I appreciate that, buddy.
I don't. Yeah, like if you don't know that someone has shared personal info about themselves, generally don't do it, because I'm not gonna like label you a doxer, but it's like in the age of the internet, it takes very little information for people to sort of zero in and do whatever they want to do. So if someone hasn't publicly shared to your knowledge certain information, I would argue it's doxing if you know that and you share it.
Okay, I think I wanted to also kind of go back again to the part of the question where we're talking about like parents who publicly humiliate their children on social media. Go ahead, Ginger.
I feel like as a parent, I feel like a lot of people are taking parenting as like a very like liberating experience, and being able to kind of like own this little human being and make them into whoever they want to be, and which is absolutely insane to me. Punishing your child on social media is absolutely ridiculous. Doing it like I don't remember who said this earlier, but it's for clicks. There's no other reason. There's no other reason than hoping people will find it either funny or, you know, just some reason to click again or share their video with somebody. None of these people are thinking about their children at all.
Yeah,
And
putting
I
someone
don't-
through the ringer of like online harassment because like they fucked up in school, or like I don't know what the specific instance that would have like brought this up
Okay,
in,
one
but
of
like
one of them was a girl decided to take a picture. I think she was 13. Decided to take a picture of herself in a sports bra and little shorts, and the school found out about the picture that she sent to
She
one
sent
guy.
it to a boy. Yeah.
Yeah, the school
then-
found out. Her
Ooh.
school told her dad, and her dad said, "Well, fuck it. I told you if you fucked up, I'd shave your head." And he
yeah,
shaved
fuck
her head,
that shit.
leaving, like,
Absolutely
one
not.
long strand of like one long strand of hair, and videotaped it and put it on YouTube for all of her classmates to see.
Yeah, no, fuck
And
that
then she
shit.
ended up killing herself. She ended up killing herself like a day or two later.
Jesus.
Yeah,
And there's
I would say-
quite a few things that have happened like that where parents think like somebody said, it's the dog meme of I'm shaming my dog. Your child is not your fucking pet.
Yeah.
Not
And
only
it's
that, right? But your dog is not affected by
Right,
social media and
exactly.
people's opinions of them.
Exactly. He doesn't
That
have
is
to go
it,
out
yeah.
and fight
It's
and
using
deal
a
with it.
child as content, basically. It's exploiting a child as content, and it bothers me so much that already they're probably, this girl was 13, going through like some of the roughest, weirdest time of her life, and then her parent is like humiliating her on video camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like children are already trying to like get the socialization necessary in order to interact with broader society in the first place. By adding this on top of them, especially at that kind of age, you're just like setting them up to have it's a extremely like traumatic experience. There's a lot of people that are saying that most people in the world aren't going to ever experience like the kind of online humiliation like that, even as an adult. So like imagine trying to deal with that shit as a kid. It's just never going to be acceptable.
Yeah. A redneck.
So I'm sure I'm one of the only parents here. That's an assumption I'm making. I didn't start streaming with my face, even though I've been on the internet for 20 plus years. I didn't start streaming on the internet with my fucking face until 2 years ago, until right before I turned 50. So my grown kids, I even said, do y'all have a problem with that? If I embarrass you, if I make a joke, but I don't use my kids' real names. I use their nicknames, just like this is a nickname that was given to me. But that privacy line I see broken at younger and younger ages, and it fucking offends me because my kids were raised with technology. I let them on the internet young, very young, but I made sure to watch what they did and help the interactions. And I just find that these parents that are I have no problem with, I post my grandbaby, but I don't say his name unless mommy is like, I don't just do that shit. I'm not out there to get clicks for them. I'm doing this as something that we're sharing a moment of time. But I see too much in y'all's age of culture. Too many parents still want their moment of fame, and they'll use their kid as a pawn to do it. And I think it's one of the most fucking disgusting things out there I've ever seen.
It's like the
Yeah, the
family
average
bloggers on
human
YouTube.
adult. The
Oh, the
average
family
human.
bloggers on YouTube are terrible.
They're terrible. The average human adult, right, is not meant to deal with the type of harassment that you can get from going viral online, right? We see human adults killing themselves after getting that type of that level of attention. So
this whole like abusive, parent type thing in front of the camera brings like it back to like Daddy 05.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that.
I remember Daddy 05, yeah.
And the fact that people tuned in to watch him do this specifically harming, dehumanizing this poor little child who is, I think, he was 10 years old at the time.
Yeah.
And to encourage his siblings to hit him and everything, and it's all for views, all for clicks.
Yeah, and it's super scary, man. People don't understand that with kids, their immediate environment is their entire world, right? They don't have access to the wider world like adults do, right? If you get really embarrassed with a group of friends, it's like, that sucks, or you do something really horrible, you're like, I guess I gotta, or you do something terrible at your job, right? I gotta get a new job, I gotta meet new people. Your kid is stuck at the school they're at, they're stuck in the home they're at. They're stuck in the communities that their parents allow them into. And so when you're sharing something on your social media, you're not only like blowing them up to their entire school, you're blowing them up to your church community, your family community, everybody they will ever be around, because you are the only way they're allowed around anybody, is going to have this thing on them. And that, I don't think parents understand how debilitating that can be when kids don't have financial currency, they don't have a lot of personal agency. All they have is their social currency. And when you set them that far in debt in social currency to everybody they ever encounter, that's such a heavy weight on their shoulders. I would call for parents to imagine just being laden with 6 figures of financial debt. And like, how would you feel if you had to dig yourself out of 6 figures of financial debt that happened in a second without your consent? It's like, that's what kids feel like, because their only currency is social currency, and you have now embarrassed them in front of everybody they will ever encounter.
Also, shame isn't a good metric. It's not a good. It's not a good quotient by which to like rehabilitate someone.
Not at all.
Shaming. It doesn't do anything.
I personally think shame is one of the worst emotions that like you can inflict on another human being.
Yeah, and conservative parents will often do it, and they'll say like, "Oh, this is tough love." It's like, if you're a conservative parent, like a biblical conservative parent, like the Bible says in like 17 different places that shame is of the devil. Like, shame is the worst thing you can make a person feel in many cases, and it is only negative. Conviction is one thing. That's where you explain to your kid what they did wrong, make them apologize to the person they wronged. But shame is completely just evil. It's just,
Well,
and it
even
does
you-
horrible things.
Even you were talking about making a bully apologize in public, but I don't think the in public thing has anything to do. If you want to actually inform somebody who's bullying someone, like especially in grade school or high school or whatever, they're already sort of fucked up. And adding a theater component to that is going to make them internalize it weird, and they're just going to act out and they're going to spin out in other perverse ways. Whereas if you pull them aside and actually talk to them on a one-on-one or a 1-to-2 with them and whoever they're victimizing and or taunting or whatever, you're probably going to get a little bit more traction with it. Now, the guy who's been abused might feel some type of way about it, but they're probably not in the best frame of mind to dictate how much public taunting the other person should receive in kind.
Yeah, right. But we're talking about parents who are being really intentional, right? And if it's a bully who's bullying because their parents are super neglectful or abusive, I don't think they're worrying about this at all. I think, like, say you're a really intentional parent and your kid does just, in the heat of the moment, bully a kid because other kids are bullying him and they do it in front of everybody. I'm not necessarily saying the most productive way to deal with it is to have them apologize in front of all the people, but I can understand a parent saying, listen, they embarrassed this kid in front of the whole schoolyard. I think that a little taste of your own medicine moment for a kid who's going to come home to a loving and understanding household would be to apologize to that kid in front of all the people they embarrassed that kid in front of, right? Like if you gave kid a wedgie or something, or called him a loser, or said he fucking stunk in front of the whole 3rd grade lunchroom, then hey, you gotta apologize to him and say what I did was wrong in front of the whole 3rd grade lunchroom. Because I don't think anybody's I don't think that's shaming to the point like that shaving someone's head is. I think that's a good learning moment.
Specifically with that, it's not even like the main purpose of that isn't to teach like shame about what they did. It's to teach empathy of like, hey, this is what you put this person through. It doesn't feel good, does it? You should probably try not to do that because you didn't like it when it happened to you. So why the fuck are you doing it to somebody else? You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, what you're trying to do is have them like understand why what they did was wrong. You don't want to just like do something mean to them to like associate the thing with a negative emotion. You want them to actually understand why something's bad so that they don't have the compulsion to do it again in the future if they just don't feel like they're going to get caught. Right?
Yeah,
so like if your kid does like some shit where they give a kid a wedgie in front of all the people in the lunchroom, you don't want to just like, you know, shave their head in front of everybody and have everyone laugh at them or whatever the fuck. You know, you want them to understand this is why like assault is bad. This is why like, you know, giving someone a wedgie is bad, and have them understand that it's bad and that doing bad things are, you know, going to lead to them doing worse things later on in life, or whatever lesson you want to impart on them, depending on who you are.
We are all products of our environment.
Yep.
And if our environment at the school has a bully in it, the environment themselves have to take the bully down. And there's stories are shown on TV. We see movies all the time where the bully is always met with the little, you know, the David and Goliath, right? If we want to go biblical or whatever. You guys know I jokingly have used my chicken coop before, and I got brand new chickens. Y'all saw them. But honestly, the chickens are my solution for my own PTSD and my own mental things when I deal with this stuff. Because I think we all carry trauma from when we were younger, all the way up until your 50s, people. I'm just letting you know. There's still shit that triggers me today. Like I told my Mythic earlier, if you want to fucking ad hom me, fine, we'll just ad hom all night. I don't want to do shit like that anymore. It's easy for us to slip into it because that's what we did in school. That's the bullying. That's the enduring we all had to go through. We all had to get picked on. We all had shit talked to us. We all had shit talked about us. And it happens not only at school, but it even happens at fucking work today or in your real life with your own fucking friends. So when you talk about this shaming in public by your parents, in a way, I don't agree with being, you know, using the kids to make yourself famous. But also, like, if your kid's out there doing shit that your family core, like the way that you believe in your heart right now that you want you and your family to be in public, then you have every right to treat that situation as you see fit in the general community. And I know that sounds real big, but I'm trying to be very based here and just I'm simple, not based. I'm trying to be simple with y'all. I'm very empathetic about all of these issues because I do suffer from mental health, and I do understand that I was bullied. A big kid bullied the fuck out of me, and he made me actually violent. Like, I became the violent one. I became where I just went and beat the shit out of him. And from that point forward, all I knew was fighting. I just didn't comprehend stuff. So I snapped. Nowadays, they'd probably say, oh, you could do something worse. I wouldn't. I've never been that way. But I think that this is I'm not special. This is happening to other kids. And so I think I touched on a little bit what we're all saying. I think that we as parents in the community, we need to be more involved. All of us need to be more involved with our kids.
Well, it's like
we
need to start asking, you know, we need to make it more normal and more accessible to talk to our parents about things that are going on in school. Like, there's a lot of times where kids won't tell their parents that they're being bullied, and you know, that would help immensely. Like, there would be something in place where, you know, the parents could talk to each other, you know, and be like, hey, I heard your kid was doing this, like, is there any way you can stop, you know, talk to him or something? And that's the best way to do it. But we have to like normalize talking to our kids and letting them know that it's okay for them to be honest with us.
Yeah, kids.
So,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I think I feel like everything that I wanted to say about this topic I said in the opener, but I'm gonna loop back to it. I think that there's clear utility in some instances when public shaming and things of that nature or derivatives of it can be useful, right? But knowing when and where is most effective is something that most people have a hard time figuring out. I think that even if you had somebody that was a trained professional, they would have to literally be a trained professional, because there's a whole host of like random shit that you have to figure out, because realistically it's a pretty detailed psychological process, right? Like, there's a lot going on into that process when somebody's like, oh fuck, did I fuck up? Oh shit, this person has more authority over me. Oh shit, like there's an audience. Oh shit, like there's all kinds of shit that's going on in their minds. And if you're trying to actually, like, this is the thing, you can link it into like content creation, like these panels and shit, right? Like, I don't actually believe that I'm gonna be able to convince some knucklehead like Mythic that capitalism is really based and like pathway to the future. But at the same time, I'm sorry that it's cringe. You know, like, if you had something better that you wanted to interject and like really go on about, by all means, like, I'll pass the torch.
What? That's it? Just me? Hey, bro, I just interjected.
Wait, no, I know, but I'm like, the floor is yours. Like, I mean, if you want to interject, then I'm gonna.
Now you want me to go and screed on capitalism? You want me to go and screed on capitalism?
No,
I'm sorry.
please,
I'm sorry.
no.
We already know you love.
I just gave you the.
If I'm going to infer from your argument here, so
listen,
if
I
I'm
gave you the
this
torch.
Right,
You had the
if I'm getting
right?
this right, hold on. Okay, then can I talk or what? So if I'm getting this right, you want paid experts to humiliate your children online?
No,
So
that
you
is the
said
meat.
the shame should be going to the experts.
The actual
That's
point.
not
My
what we
point
wanted.
is
Today,
the actual point is that
Bryce
it's
is going
not
to start a
something that we
service,
should
Shame Your
actually
Kids
promote,
LLC.
because we don't think that most people are going to be really having the faculties or the like overall knowledge to be able to evaluate the situation and decide, you know what, Mythic's been really dumb today. I feel like he needs to wear the dunce cap and be like walk around the central hall or like the
I
quad.
thought we weren't ad homing anymore. What happened?
Shit,
Why
are
are
we?
you
My
bullying
bad.
me, Bryce?
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. I apologize. Okay. You know, that was
so-
very mean of me. And listen, give my
I think y'all
apologies.
didn't
over here
catch the
trying to be
point.
nice.
I don't think y'all caught it. I think you guys missed it. Bullying is the pecking order from the chickens. There's a natural pecking order in society. Naturally. In your clique of friends, you're either an alpha or you're, I mean, we understand this from nature. It happens. I'm not talking about anything.
Listen, you're trying to speak to the human nature. No, listen, I need to interact.
Hang on. Why is this offensive?
Listen, he's trying to give us his
It
chicken.
doesn't
Listen,
offend me. It's just I'm sorry. When I hear really
he's
dumb
trying to
shit,
impart
this-
upon
my
us his
body
chicken
just has, like, this
wisdom. Okay, chill out.
The fact,
unconscious
He's got chicken wisdom, bro. Let him say it.
the fact that
You're
I'm
right.
saying
My
that
bad.
bullying is going to continue to happen because there's a natural pecking order in our own society. And you're getting offended by saying, oh, the nature thing, this bullshit, because we're smart. If we're so fucking smart, then we shouldn't have people with mental illnesses, right? Because we should be able to fix our own fuck-ups because we know what's wrong with us. We know what the triggers are. But, I digress. Come on, man. Bryce, you're being flippant about this. I'm
Do you
being
have a good
genuine here when I'm
relationship
telling
with
you
your
that.
chickens?
Fuck yeah, I do. They were PTSD for me. They definitely have become service animals for me.
That's really.
So
that
if
is
you want to go
actually
down
really
that
great.
path, if you want to go ahead and mock me for that one, go ahead.
No, I don't
can
want to
take
mock you for that. I think that's actually
This-
really great, and I wanted
This
to
is
talk more about your chickens.
The
I
cat.
like
that was
his,
right over
I
here
like his
is my
alpha
favorite
cock.
example.
I like the alpha cock metaphor with the
Look,
chickens,
I'm
but
trying to say that it happens. Look, it happens. It's happening in our society as a whole. Communities, it goes bigger and it can go as small. It can go as micro as you want, or it can go as big as you want. But it's all a pecking order. And I'm just saying, if you want to fix it, how do you teach leadership above you not to fuck with you in a nice way? Because we've learned how to take leadership classes and learn how to manage your manager, right? You've all learned that course, haven't you? How to manage your manager, because the pecking order is that, and it exists down into school. Kids do it with each other as friends, and you do it with each other in relationships. I'm just being honest about it.
I would say that I would be careful linearly extrapolating stuff from our culture as a human universal. I'm not sure that like the 6,000 different ethnics and cultural bases
Don't
of
have
humans,
pecking orders?
They
Don't have pecking
I
orders.
don't think that they all have like bullying pecking orders that
Well,
are
look,
exactly
the
akin to
only
ours.
outlet
that
here
can
is
be
Stardust,
universally
okay?
applied to human beings proper.
Well, that's what the
I
main
believe
thing that was making me
everybody
lose
has a
my
pecking
mind,
order.
right? What was making me lose my mind is that you're making these descriptions of humanity, which is basically
Yeah.
talking about like neuroscience and psychology, and neuroscience and psychology don't
But
support what
it's
you're
all
saying.
pecking order, Bryce. Bry. Okay, give me every example. Give me one example where pecking order doesn't come into play.
Okay.
One.
In what
okay, wait,
kind of
th-
context?
pecking order is such a vague, amorphous thing, right? You have to
It's
define
so-
exactly what.
the
Like,
ter-
this is just so stupid.
Societal
Do you
hierarchy.
interpret bullying? Okay. Do you interpret
Communism.
bullying? Bullying can be a word. Like if someone says a word that offends somebody or hurts somebody, you could consider that bullying. Yes, that's what you're gonna say. Yes, or am I going too far?
No, I mean, bullying. Well, I mean, this is honestly, this is great. We didn't define bullying. I think we actually should. We didn't define it, literally
That-
anything for any topic.
Let's
yet.
define it. Yeah, let's define it.
So bullying, I think, there has to be like does it have to be intent? I think there has to be intent. I think there has to be intent. It has to be like a harmful action that has a damage on the other person's like psyche in some way.
Okay.
It's
so
someone who
I
says
can
something
say-
deleterious to make a self-aggrandizing manner to cut someone else down so as to feel better or to increase their own social status or something like that. I feel
So
like.
I call my wife bitch. It offends another.
Yes.
They hear it. They say, oh, that was offensive.
Nice.
But yet they don't understand. And yeah, you're saying nice, but you don't understand that that's an actual fucking, like, that's me being called a bitch. My wife calls me bitch because I am actually her beta. Okay, so if you want to go there, we can talk about it. But the point I'm making
Hey,
is
you
the
know what?
pecking
That-
order.
Too.
The pecking order.
Base is
the
fucked,
pecking
dog.
order is created by that other person. They see a different. They see like me abusing my wife, which they don't realize because the word I said, I'm addressing the reverse of that. So the term bullying is subjective to what is the action, and the action I'm defining is a pecking order. Someone's doing something to affect somebody else. You've addressed that, whether it's saying a word or whether it's an action or whether it's creating an environment that they're in, creating a hostile environment for that person. It's still a pecking order situation.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
so-
that I'm
so
not sure
one-
that injurious language is part of a naturally occurring hierarchy.
Yeah, so one thing I'd suggest, well, that I think, and I don't know that anyone else is making this argument, but one criticism I would have about reinforcing the alpha thing or the managing your manager thing, right, is in the context of bullying. If you say, well, kid, there are alphas and you got to manage your manager, you're sort of reinforcing the idea that this bully is naturally above them in some way. I think what would be...
But
Hold on,
you just
no,
fucked
I'm-
up.
I think
I
I need to
didn't know.
interject on both of you because he was talking. He responded to me, so I really want to say something. So
Okay, go ahead.
this whole like social this whole like pecking order, like all the social hierarchy stuff, all this talk about like hierarchies and everything. These are things that emerge, right? The way that you're
Hierarchy.
framing it.
He's Canadian. Give him a break, okay?
Hierarchy.
Higher-
so-
hierarchy.
said all
But
night.
it's something
Don't
that
bully him for
emerges,
his
right?
Canadianness now,
Can-
okay? Let
can
him
I-
go.
can
Canadians
pause you?
aren't
Can I
people. You
pause
can
you?
bully them all you want.
You can
I
be
need,
racist
I
to
need
Canadians.
You
clarification,
can
Brian.
try to bully us all you want, but you just have
Okay.
to understand that we're gonna clap
Brian.
back, and you have to understand that we are only like 30 million people, and we're still
Fucking
like running
leaf.
the show up here.
And we're not
Okay,
sorry,
right.
okay? We're not
I will
sorry
run up
about
on
Okay.
you so quick with a leaf blower.
I think Redneck has a question.
Okay,
for you.
Bryce.
Yeah,
Bryce,
yeah, what's up, dude?
clarify that for me. Clarify your last statement.
Okay, yeah. Well, I didn't really get to say it because the whole cacophony.
Hierarchy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so in the situation that you're describing, it's something that emerges. It's
Pause.
something.
Pause.
Okay.
How does it emerge? Because the action itself is already created. It's created.
Right.
At the
Okay. So
moment.
what happened? Okay. No. It's a chemical reaction, you could say. Like, how does it emerge? It would be in like the first time, right? Like, so the best way to demonstrate this would be like the first time that you and I interact, right? You're gonna have in that early
Pecking order
interaction.
happens. A pecking order happened.
Right, but it's not always peacocking, right? Like pecking orders aren't necessarily
It
some
happened
kind of
immediately.
showdown.
It is, as always. There's always color shown.
No. There's not always some kind of showdown or clash.
There
or
is always
conflict.
a clash.
No, okay.
Whether it's a friendly clash, whether it's friendly or toxic or anger or sad.
He's saying that you're going to find
receiver.
you're going to find what the order is very quickly by who is
Sure.
the most dominant in the conversation.
But the point is that it's not something that's a function of like a condition or property of that individual, right? It's a result from
Bryson,
the
here's where I'm
interactions, right?
hang
No,
on.
hang on. Hey, wait,
This
wait,
is-
1 second. No, wait, I'm not done. You could have the most like Chad fucking dude in the world. He could be like 6'4", absolutely ripped, like chiseled jawline, like in the meme, like whole 9 yards. And then he could like maybe like stub his toe, like completely like fuck up entirely talking to a girl, and we just or like talking to another guy. Like it could be any situation, and somebody could completely fuck up that situation, and like the person's gonna have a bad first impression, right? Like it's
Are you talking
first impressions.
about a dynamic where someone approaches someone else like to flirt or pick up on them and they literally stub their toe?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like
Well, there's
okay.
spaghetti, any sort of thing.
There's so much
that's,
spaghetti in the pockets;
not-
it's just spilling out all
it's
over
just
the
like
place.
it's meant to be like an
Yeah.
extreme example of something that can like throw somebody off. Like it's a product of the interaction that they have. It's not a product of the person itself. There are situations
shut their
where that
pants.
person can be in by which that property that they have that's something that within them that ranks them higher in this like fucking like Jedi powers score sheet, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, so it's just like some of the shit you say, Redneck, you just like, make my mind go fucking
Numb.
implode. Yeah, no.
Exactly. So that means the pecking
Bacon.
order is established.
Yo,
I mean,
he-
honestly, if you
any
okay, listen, if you want to live
any
in a
environment that
society,
me and you
Wait,
are in,
Redneck, are you saying
if
that-
you want to live in a society where the person that can make the other person's brain hurt or want to go on a vacation, by all means, please, like
Isn't
make
that
that
streaming?
society.
Listen, we're not
That's-
saying that you're
that's
making our
streaming in a
brain go
nutshell.
numb because like everything you're saying is so, so amazing,
here's
so
what I'm trying
like
to say.
religious even.
I was just
it's
no. I'm saying human fucking nature is no different than fucking chicken nature. People, it's nature.
It's all about
It's
context.
nature.
It's all about
You've been
context.
spending
It
too
is
much
that
time in the
simple.
chicken coop, Redneck. Okay, you haven't been talking
wants
enough.
To say something. Flamenco
I
wants to say something.
mean, not like all.
I thought this was a blood
animals
sports
slash,
panel. Let me
like,
be
hu-
mean once in a while.
Wait, are chickens
It
even
is a blood
social
sports
animals?
panel.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, like not like all. There's
heard
not a like
like
one-to-one
really well.
correlation between like all human societies and all like animal social interactions and stuff
Prove
like
me
that.
wrong. I've asked y'all
What
to give
about
me one
lobsters?
example where a pecking order doesn't get established.
You're not
Wait,
giving us what you mean.
Wait, no, you said
Because-
prove me wrong.
okay.
I'm saying that like
yeah, give me one
chickens don't
example.
have the concept of like monetary resources that like determines
they do.
whether or not they have a.
Yes, they
Wait,
do.
What currency do chickens trade in?
Food, water, feed, food. Their supply, their need of living. So they will trade off. They will actually. Go ahead, Mythic. Go ahead, brother. Tell him.
The good coop spots, the good nesting
Yes.
spot.
Yes. See, he knows. The
So
less
I-
air
I
getting on them,
think-
the hotter areas, the bigger hens will control the fucking market. They will make sure they get
Yeah.
what they need. They will only leave it if they have somebody taking care of it. There is a pecking order in society, people. It happens right here on the stream. when
Only
we
the
all met.
strong survive. You know, I fucking love that quote from Conan, where it's
And so that's what I was
what's
trying to
best
tell
in
Jeb
life,
earlier.
Hold on,
Is
hold
America
on.
is built that way. You're welcome.
I understand what you're saying, but I also understand what the other people are saying. And I think the underlying argument here, right, that I was trying to get to is that I think the suggestion isn't that pecking orders don't exist in humanity, but that they're far more fluid and far more dynamic in humanity. And we shouldn't be just reinforcing our kids that things are as simple as alphas and betas, because you're essentially telling them in a bullying situation they're the beta and the kid's an alpha, and they have to sort of mitigate the alphaness where they can. Whereas what we should be saying is, listen, every day you go to school and this new sort of shtick is being played by everybody, and you don't have to participate in it because the pecking order when you're a kid is you kids, your fucking teachers, and then me, okay? As long as you're not doing anything to piss your teachers off or piss me off, when you go home, it's all over. That's what you should be instilling in your kids, is that the actual pecking order amongst your friends is so fluid and dynamic, it really doesn't matter what happens day to day, kiddo. don't take it so seriously. Everything can change on a dime. You kids have such short memories. As long as you're not doing anything to piss off your teachers or piss off dad or mom, you're fine. You shouldn't reinforce this idea that if your kid doesn't make a stand every opportunity they get, that they're just this perma beta because of the pecking order at their school. Because that's sort of what the public shaming thing is on the same length, right? Is, oh, you tried to put yourself up in the pecking order, so I'm going to drive you down the pecking order. Instead, we should be expressing to our kids, with kids and people.
While you gave a great example, your answer though was that as long as you're not doing this, this, and this, you pecked the order that you would accept the policy of. You laid it out. You became the alpha that moment. You established that once you get home, it's no more. So don't talk about bullying because you just bullied your kid to do what you want when they get home.
That's
Fuck
not
out of here with your
bullying,
bullshit.
We're not talking about the fact that their children have.
No.
Listen,
You teach
no
your
one's
kid
going
to
to
take
say
an
that.
ass whooping and just talk.
Listen,
That's
nobody's
teaching your
Live
kids.
Wait,
to
Jeb,
identify
let me-
with
give me a
orders
shot here,
are
okay?
more and
Wait.
less flexible, okay?
Listen, no one's gonna sit here and say that there's no like chain of command or like some sort of like understood kind of like hierarchy in any given set of circumstances. Okay, like when a kid and a parent are going to interact, like the parent's going to be the one that is in charge. They're higher up on the hierarchy there because like obviously the child doesn't have all the information that they need about the world or about like what the or even about like social situations to know what
Until
they
the parents need to flip a PDF.
yeah,
the kid's in charge.
yeah, exactly. So like no one's gonna say that doesn't happen, but we're talking,
bro.
yeah. But what we're trying to say here, Redneck, is that like in every single social situation, no one's sitting there and thinking like, this person is the alpha, this person is the beta, this one is
Wrong. You're wrong. And I'll
Okay,
tell you
well,
why.
I'm sorry. Listen,
tell you
Redneck, just
why.
because
I'll
you
tell you
think like
why.
that and you're always sitting there
No,
like fourth or fifth
hang
chair
on,
to
you-
everybody behind your wife
Hold
being
on,
the
don't
alpha,
put
it
what
doesn't
you think
mean
I
that
think.
everybody else
Let me
thinks
tell
like
you
that,
what I
okay?
think. Let me tell you
Sondsol,
why I
stop
think this.
pecking him, okay?
Sorry, I'm just trying to establish right now that I'm the alpha in this situation because I'm not sitting
us
here
your
like
pecker.
caring about what
Only
everyone
alpha
thinks.
in this situation is me.
You're
Sorry, go
pecking
ahead,
so
Redneck.
hard, Sondsol.
You're
Lady Pecker.
people. When you first meet somebody, you immediately upon seeing
a
them,
year.
establish whether they're a threat or they're safe.
This is
You
what
immediately do
weak
that in your
people
mind.
say. This is what weak people say because they're constantly trying to threat assess.
Wow.
This is what weak people do because
Wow.
they're constantly trying to threat assess. Not everyone thinks like this,
oh.
Redneck.
No, but there
Oh.
is.
No.
If you've had combat
Oh,
training, if you've done
really?
hand-to-hand like martial arts, if you've done MMA, there is some
You
sort of
know-
calculus you do.
Wow,
I'm
you
weak,
look at someone's
Sondsol.
fight.
I want to bring.
Yeah, I
something
do.
up. wanna
You've
bring
you've
something up.
threatened my life like 4 times on stream and
Oh,
never once
Moderator,
done
offering you a cup
anything
of
to
coffee?
about it, right?
Offering you a cup of coffee to talk to me and face to face. I know where you fucking live. Yes, I'm.
And then you said we'll post pictures of what happens. Yeah, you fucking
Okay, okay,
slimy
Exactly.
fuck.
Okay.
Because I
I
told
wanna-
you
I
I will
wanna-
call. Hang on. I told you I would call you a bitch to your face over a cup of coffee, and you decide how you react. That's what I told you, and I'll still stick to it to this day. I'll buy you a fucking cup of coffee and call you a bitch to your face.
And see, this
then
is
you
the
decide
beta
how it goes from
behavior.
there.
This is why we know that your wife is the alpha because you're like having to sit here and
Sure.
posture all the fucking time. Okay,
It's
not everybody
posture.
thinks like
I
this.
just said
It's
what
literally
I said what I
posturing.
told you I would do.
It's
Alpha, Sondsol?
definitionally posturing.
Is there something wrong with his wife being the alpha, Sondsol?
No, it just like I'm just saying,
Yes.
like
No,
if
he
he's
says
going
it
to
every
sit
time.
here
He gets offended by it every time. He does. He makes a comment about it every time. He made a comment
About
that my
what?
wife owns the business. He made
It's
a comment.
unnatural.
about
Oh
my
yeah,
wife
I
being
did
the
do
owner
that
of the
because it
business.
was really funny. Yes, because you're
Sonsol's
constantly
sounding
talking
kinda
about how
toxic right
strong
now.
and big you are. Yeah,
Sonsol's sounding kind of
I'm
toxic right
retired.
now.
Okay.
I could be
Wait
toxic.
a minute.
My wife
I do
can't own
wanna
a company.
So she can
Wow.
if she wants to. Yeah.
Sondsol, are you saying you enter each
It's
situation
just like-
as a dynamic of whether the woman's the alpha or not? Only weak people do that, bro. Only weak people do that.
I'm literally
know
saying
what?
that. I'm
One
literally
thing
sitting here
I
saying
gotta
that
bring up-
Redneck is the one that's thinking about all of these like dynamics about like whether someone's like the alpha, the beta, or the like I don't know omega male or what the fuck ever.
I clearly
In
said
every
I'm not
interaction.
direct- I'm telling you that every interaction is that though. It's that simple. It
Yeah,
really
and you're
is.
saying that you're sitting there
Can I-
doing the
can I just
calculus. I
say-
think it's really fucking weak. I think it's really lame.
I was listening to somebody talk recently, okay? And they said, like, the leader in a group often is somebody who is actually assessing everybody else in that group and taking care of that person. That's often what a leader is doing. A leader is often looking at everybody else in the group and seeing.
They're
how
not
they
doing
can
a
take care of-
threat assessment like
We need to
Redneck
change
was
up
just
that.
saying.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Okay. They're often looking at everybody in the group, assessing how they can take care of them better, you know, and looking what is a threat to the group, you know. So
Yeah,
I do think that there's something there, and you know what? If Redneck's wife is good at doing that, shame on you, Sondsol, for shaming
Wait,
her.
wait. Are you
good at
implying
that.
that Redneck's
I'm assessing
wife
you all
should,
so hard right now.
look at
You're all
this
so
group?
well taken care of.
You know, I'm kind of curious. Are you suggesting that Redneck's wife needs to like assess this group and assess the fact that we're all like really?
Yeah, I
horny
think
and
Redneck's
horny?
wife needs to come in
Like
here
that
and show us
Redneck's
like
wife
what
will
the
help us?
dynamic is really
Alpha
like.
Here. I'm the one who's evaluating how the group is doing. Ginger, how are you doing? You haven't spoken in a while.
You're
you are
muted.
muted.
That's probably why she wasn't talking.
She might have been talking.
Sorry.
Hmm.
No, honestly, I just think that this is funny as hell.
Yeah,
I'm
I think-
entertained.
Yeah.
I think
So,
this whole
again,
conversation
channel.
is ignoring the whole shame and bullying dynamic that might be a part of a healthy sexual lifestyle.
Okay, well,
Only if you're into it.
that's
okay?
yeah, that's acknowledged, right? But that's again
mean,
an acknowledgement
there's
that pecking
still
orders are
A pecking
fluid.
order exists.
No,
There's
but
still a pecking order.
but again, you
Pecker
should be
order.
teaching.
Why do you got to make
the-
it fluid? Why do you have to put
No,
the
I'm
fluid
not.
designator?
I'm not making it fluid. I'm acknowledging that it is fluid, right?
It's just a
Because-
pecking order. All I said was that everything that we do, as soon as two people meet, there's a pecking order that's established, and everybody flip the fuck out, say you can't make it that simple, but it is.
Well, no, it's because
It
there's a
is.
whole lot of shit that happens when you first meet.
There's a
somebody.
whole bunch of separate little pecking order situations because then we immediately go to, oh, are they safe? Good. Then you
No,
start
but-
going down these little lists.
Would you
You know what,
concede
the
that
thing is-
bullying is an unhealthy externality of a improper pecking order?
So I said
Or
bullying
an
is subjective, right?
over-rigid one,
Because
maybe?
somebody, so like my energy can be bullying to somebody because they don't know how to take my energy. I come in hype, I come in real hot one day, and I'm just overexcited. Somebody goes, "Holy fuck, this guy's mad." They don't know me, but that would cause them to get now a bullying feeling, right? So it's a
Yes.
subjective thing that I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say. Let's take out of this narrative the subjectiveness, because I'm with you. Use it for anything you want. It's still a pecking order though, because if I come in and I want to flex and have some fun and I'm feeling myself, that's me being I'm alphaing it. If in the pecking order I'm trying to peck a little hard, but I could be pecked right back by somebody then saying, "Hey fucker, why you being an asshole?" or "Why you bullying me?" or "Why it's a subjective. That's where I'm just trying to be like, look.
Right.
You're
so
saying
I
it's
think
fluid.
that
You're
everything
saying
that
it's
you're saying.
fluid.
Listen. So
Yeah, you're
Always.
saying a
Because you
fluid
have-
pecking order.
You're,
right. Okay, but the
Well,
problem is
look,
that every time. Okay, every
the
single
chickens-
time.
how far you wanna go down this,
Every
though?
single
How
time
far
that
do we go?
guys chirp each
Chickens
other.
are very fluid.
Not every
Yeah,
time
they
that
are.
guys chirp each other is like some kind of like unspoken fucking like tug of war going
Bro,
on, right?
walk into the bathroom and there's a war going on. We pick different stalls. We stay away from each other. We make sure we check each other who's washing
We don't
their
want to
hands. We look at
smell
those
each
that don't
other's
wash their fucking
bodily
hands.
fluids. Yeah, that's why we
make
step
sure
away from other people. We
hold
want
on.
people looking at our
If
dicks.
I
So
see somebody go to the fucking bathroom behind me at a fucking rest stop while I'm at the urinal, if I catch them going to the bathroom and I see somebody walk out without washing their hands, I will make sure to watch them go through the store and watch everything they touch because I'm not gonna fucking touch it. Because I am that pet. That is the
Weirdo.
biggest pet peeve I have.
True.
Fuck
That's
that.
so true.
Fuck
That's
that.
base.
I hate public bathrooms.
Okay.
Fuck you. If you don't
But
wash your
that's-
fucking hands,
But hold on. So I think the issue is right. Is I didn't argue right. There aren't pecking orders. I said I agree that there are pecking orders. I think what people are saying when they push back on your overall assumptions based on the idea that there's a pecking order is that they're saying it's a lot more fluid than you seem to be suggesting. Because when most people say there are alphas and there are betas,
Wait. What am I
there's
saying? That's not.
Well, dude,
Wait,
oh my
how did I
god, if
say
you
it's
let me
not fluid?
finish, I could finish so hard all over you and you would totally understand my pecker right now, okay?
Praising.
You would get it, yeah.
Praising.
So, hold on. If when you suggest things, usually, okay, I won't point at you, right? Usually when people bring up the pecking order or they bring up alphas, which is kind of what brought the conversation to a new level, is they're acting like it's this rigid concept, right? And we were talking about it in the context of our kids and managing the manager and all that stuff that you brought up when we were talking about kids. I don't think practically it's good to teach kids that there's this rigid pecking order of alphas and betas when really it's super fluid. And if you're saying, oh, practically it's good to teach that there's a pecking order in every situation, but also acknowledging that it's fluid and it can change at any moment, I would argue that practically it's not that useful then, because if the pecking order can change at any moment, just teach your kid to give a fuck about other people, and then if those people are contributing
So-
negatively to their lives, to stop giving a fuck about those people.
So you're saying now you want to define the 50-50 rule. Because in every well, you're saying, of course, fucking pecking order is fluid. You will push some on your belief, and then they will push some on their belief. On any situation, but there's still an alpha and winner.
Not
in every
always,
argument, there's
though.
still a winner.
No, because
there's never gonna. Hold on.
Sometimes,
Are you married?
sometimes
Are you
no.
married? Are you fucking
What?
married?
I'm in a
Are
very
you
long-term
married?
committed relationship.
So you're telling me there's a true 50-50
himself.
relationship and you have? Are you telling me you are in a true 50-50 relationship right fucking now? If you
Yeah.
will, please bring her on, and you have just solved the world's problems. Please bring her on.
Well,
Let's get this
she's-
done, or him on, or
she's
whatever.
Not, she's not
Let's
here
go.
right
In
now.
what situation?
There's
Because
no
people are
such
going to
thing
be
as a
more
50
alpha in some
there's
situations
no-
or in some
There's
different
no
Okay,
such
hold
thing
on.
as a
aspects.
50-50.
It's
Hold
not
on.
really 50-50 unless you guys vacillate between reverse cowgirl and reverse cowboy every other night.
Yeah, right.
Then
so,
that's 50-50.
yeah, and we do because it's Pride Month. We're all very open.
No,
but
what there is a 51-49 that you rotate. It's fluid.
so then
Huh?
it would average out to 50-50 then, would it not?
No, it would not, because there's always got to be one ahead.
No, not really though, because say you're
There
like,
is.
you
There
go,
is.
you're
It's
you're
really
fundamentally a
sad.
There's
capitalist
going to
human
come a
being,
day.
right?
There's
Hold
going
on,
to come a
hold on,
day
no,
where
no, 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 whoa.
your relationship wants to go eat something else. You still
Hold
choose
on.
your way.
Hold
That
on.
you won.
There's a give and
Are you
take,
gonna
but
calculate the
this is
next time?
sad because
There's
you
a
always
give
have
and
to
take.
think
That's
about
the
like who's a
50-50.
winner and who's a loser,
so
even in your
who's
relationships.
keeping track of that ledger? Who's keeping track of that ledger? Is it fluid? Can we do a reconciliation
Because
on that ledger?
because if
Is
you're
that
trying,
ledger
wait, hold
accurate?
on, Jeb. If you're sitting there like with your spouse and you're like
Dude,
trying
you
to
just
tally
text
up
me so
points,
hard,
if you're
bro.
trying to sit there and tally up points over who's winning between you and your wife about who gets to eat what food on what days, like you're in
Then
the
you're the
worst
beta.
fucking relationship of all time because you're already
Yeah.
saying like, oh yeah, like I'm so fucking down bad in this fucking situation that like I have to count my victories where they are instead of just like saying like sometimes my wife gets to choose the restaurant, sometimes I get to choose the restaurant, and we are happy together. Like that's like a good relationship. This is the most depressing sounding fucking
There's no
relationship
such
I've
thing as
ever
a
heard.
50-50,
Bro,
is what I
also-
said. And,
no,
and
stop,
you guys
hold
are
on.
saying it's fluid. I
This
agree. And
conversation
then I
I'm gonna
has
said,
had
blow
a
you up.
keep it
disgusting
track.
lack. This conversation has had a disgusting lack of Sigma reconciliation.
That's
where
what
are
I'm
the
saying.
Sigmas? Where
Sigmas
where's
don't
everybody
reconcile.
else?
They win.
If you're Sigma, you understand that they're so fluid that they don't fucking matter. But also, Redneck, I have a point for you. If you believe that no relationship can be truly equal, then you are kind of agreeing with the socialists that every economic relationship is fundamentally exploitative because there is always one person in a power position over another. I, as a capitalist, believe that there are true market 50-50 relationships where one person gives their money
you're a fucking
for
idiot
equal
then.
good.
And I'll say it ad hominem.
Yo, get
Because
'em.
in capitalism, it's the best man wins. The higher the profit, the better the margin, the better the win. Period. That's what I accept that as someone that likes capitalism. I want to be
Zero-sum
the
game.
best. So it's a zero-sum game. You're goddamn right. So I'm sorry, but I accept that. In a free trade market, you would have the same situation though, because I would put a certain value on my peckers comparative to what you would. And so you either buy my eggs from my peckers the way I charge you, or you don't get to eat them. Right? So
Or
that's
you
how
don't
free
get,
market would work
but,
too.
But again, or you don't get money. So I have
Right, so
equal
you
or I don't
power
get,
in the trade circumstance.
or I don't get food, or I don't get trade, right? So, there
So
is
it's
a
equal
fine
in a way,
line.
right?
No, there's not equal because the value you have to then have a higher value to get profit off your next one when you do the trade to get the whatever you need, right?
What?
So when you
No,
want that money,
So hold on. No, if
Hold
it's
on,
not equal,
hey, before y'all lose
for
your
every-
minds,
for every egg
every
that you
trans-
have, right? That you
my
can't
God,
eat,
y'all think everything's
you
50-50, huh?
Hold on, no,
So you
stop.
just do everything
They're not-
cross-hand
Why don't
trades.
you want me to
No
finish?
profits.
If for say in your chicken analogy, right? For every egg that
Right.
you don't eat, that egg is going to go to waste unless I decide to saunter over and give you my money. So I have
What?
the 50-50 power in that circumstance to where either all your eggs go to waste.
But you're
if
assuming
I
you're my
don't
only
purchase
customer.
them.
You're assuming I don't have any other use for those eggs if I don't sell
No,
them.
you're
But
assuming I can't get my own chickens and make my own eggs.
You
though.
missed my point. As Mythic was bringing up, if I sell you my eggs, I'm receiving a value from you of whatever. It could be
Yeah.
food, it could be coin, it could be whatever, right?
100%.
That value that I receive, I have already budgeted to make a profit off of that. Because
Yes.
it's a zero-sum game, not in my world. Or I mean, for me, everything I do, I have to make a profit off of because I have to continually do this to live.
Yep.
And I live
100%.
at a certain expectation for myself, correct?
Yeah.
What is
It will
zero?
not be truly free
So-
until all the chickens rise up together, all the chicken proletariat
Oh,
rise up.
see?
and
Just like the
go
movie,
right
just
up.
like the movie Chicken Run.
Bourgeoisie
Just like the movie
farmers.
Chicken Run.
all those
Right off the
forklift
bourgeoisie farmers
certified
stealing
chickens.
their eggs, Stealing
So
their
I'm
eggs.
stealing their eggs, and I have to make sure I feed them properly. I give them proper shelter. They want to keep themselves dry. They don't want any rain on their heads. So I gotta buy
Oh.
lumber. I gotta buy wood. Like I gotta build these coops. Like,
Oh, so they
there's-
have an
there's a-
equal power over you almost, right? It's almost like
Not
a
equal.
sort of
No,
50-50
no,
relationship.
because I still control their lives. I can still go out there, wring their fucking necks, and put them on my plate. So
Do you
that's
have a
still.
But then you won't get
Chicken-
eggs, right?
Do you have a chicken coop or a chicken co-op?
It's
So
it's a
stupid.
co-op
Fuck
right
off.
now. It's pretty big.
Nice.
It's got 100. It's got 100. So if I fucking slip in there, they may be able to take me out. So I gotta
just-
be careful.
Listen, I need to point something out.
Rap.
It's not that capitalism is not a zero-sum game. That really bugs the absolute living fuck out of me. Zero-sum
No.
game is when you have the two, like when people, it's an example of people that don't cooperate, right? You have like a couple factories that want to build the same thing, they don't cooperate. It's the conditions by which when they have the two conditions, it is equal to zero, right? Therefore, it's a zero-sum, right?
Are
the
monopolies naturally occurring?
Oh, I don't want to. I did a whole fucking
Are
stream trying to explain monopsony, monopoly, duopoly, duopsony, like all the shit that people have no fucking idea.
Aren't they the inevitable result of
No.
capitalism?
No,
Is
a
the
monopoly. A monopoly
concentration?
is not. Primarily, monopolies are artificial. There are some naturally occurring monopolies, but by and large, monopolies are artificial.
Yeah.
Okay, and so if you have monopolies, then you have some people dictating who gets what when, right?
I mean, you have a lot of different shit that happens in markets because I don't know if you knew this, but it's pretty much impossible because of
I don't know
people's
if you know
tinkering and
this.
all this shit to have a perfectly competitive
No,
market.
I don't know if you know it.
I don't know if he knows.
I don't know.
that
I don't know
it.
if you know it, but I think I know.
Oh no.
And
no.
it seems like
I get into
I mean, you
that.
can look. You can look at American markets and see the strongest monopolies are in the strongest regulated industries in the United
Right,
States.
and it's not
Strongest
just
monopolies.
monopolies, right?
Qualifying
Like you have like oligopolies.
Technically,
and
I
you have
guess
I think we're getting
utilities.
off topic. I
So-
think we're getting off topic.
Mega
So,
off
I
topic.
think we should. I think this is the time that we have a quick break. I'll read some of the super chats to you guys. And we'll get what you guys think about them. Okay. So first one is, what's your favorite meat type vape juice? From Rob, $2.
Meat.
Tikka
right?
masala, Rob. That's my
Yo,
favorite.
tikka masala is bomb as fuck.
Butter chicken.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. 8.99 pounds from Lola. Only Alpha Stardust. Why? Thank you. Very much appreciate that. Courtney sent in 5. Say to peck or not to peck. That is the true question. Yes, very true. Lola asks for 4 pounds and 49, whatever those British people use. Question.
Pence.
What is a pecking order within humans? Does anybody want to answer that?
I was about to ask about this. It's very interesting because we're talking about alpha and beta as if they're bygone terms. Like because the guy who did the wolf terminology said no, they're alpha beta, and he came back and retracted that and said, you know what, I didn't understand the pack dynamic, and I improperly use alpha and beta. And then cringe lord Vice Libs say that alpha and beta aren't correct terms. However, Jane Goodall, another primatologist, used alpha and beta to denote chimp behavior. So, you know what I mean? It might be, if we're talking about other higher order hominids and primates, great apes, that alpha and beta are is a proper dichotomy to refer to people with.
Yeah. That being said, Stardust, me, Mythic, Sondsol, everybody else. Thank you.
True.
Sure thing, buddy.
Calling everybody primates, whatever. I'm using the alpha beta
I mean,
as the
we
A and B.
kinda are,
You could
but-
do 1 and 2. We could do 1 and 2. There's a pecking order that exists, and whether you want to call the bully or the bullied, or we were talking, because that's how that question started, and so that's where my pecking order came from. And I said bullying could be words. So y'all could sit there and use alpha beta. You can use 1 and 2. You can use primary, secondary. You can use master, slave, whatever you want to do.
Omega.
I like
Whatever you
Master
wanna do.
Slave. That one got me a half chub. All I know is we're gonna have to change the Hong Kong Conk meme in Stardust's community to the peck 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 meme to make sure we all stay in Alpha Sigma territory. So
Wait, can ducks peck though?
Yes, they have a beak.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, if you're asking that, you're probably
don't have a
not
very sharp
high on the
beak,
pecking
though.
order.
True.
They have a corkscrew cock they can peck with.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Sorry, just give me a second here. Okay.
Protecting Courtney Cole.
The next super chat that I have is I've never heard from Courtney, $5. I've never heard the word pecking or fluid so much in my life. Okay.
I don't think I want to
another
hear
one
it anymore either. Ooh.
Again.
from Shin-Chan, $5 says, you want a super chat, who is clicking their mouse over and over? I can artistically hear it. Stop it. It has to be Stardust or Flam. I don't know if it's me. I set up the
Listen, I'm
noise
playing
gate,
Halo.
man. I don't
Listen, I'm
know.
playing Halo 2 right now. It's probably me.
You definitely can't hear me.
No, I set up the noise
I've
gate.
been
It
looking
shouldn't
at
be doing
chicken
that.
porn.
Yeah, it's not clicking. It's the clucking of the chickens in the background.
I've been looking at Mythic the whole time, so.
Animal says $2 ask Jeb why he has cheek implants. He doesn't have cheek implants. He's naturally born that way. Okay. He's
I
got
did
a
break.
strong-
I did break one of them, so it might be swelling. Not recently.
okay.
He's
but...
got gorgeous
okay.
cheekbones. Leave him alone.
Seriously, not all of us can.
He's
be
got
born
a
that
naturally
way.
occurring
Girls-
monopoly on
Girls
cheekbones.
would kill for those cheekbones, alright?
All right. Question number 3, last but not least. If you guys want to take a break at any time, let me know, or just get up and go. It doesn't really matter. Okay. 3. Question number 3. Feminist theory has shown that media portrays women disproportionately negatively. How would you address the challenges you've seen facing women in the spotlight, or who have the spotlight put upon them? Ginger. You are muted.
Sorry.
I'm gonna treat her so harshly after this, by the way.
Okay, that's fine. This might be, like, not a popular opinion, but I don't feel like right now women are at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to public opinion. I feel like men are.
True.
And I don't. I mean, all we do is bring women up with their weight, and we talk about, you know, oh, boss bitches and stuff like that. The man's overweight, he's just overweight. It's not a, you know, there's so much dynamic that goes on about, you know, saying, oh, well, you know, women are subject to this and women are subject to that, and it's like, we have never had more of a say than we do now, and kind of all I feel like we're using it to do is complain.
Yeah, what's the metric in which
True.
they're saying that the media portrayals of women are like largely more negative than positive?
I don't know. I just looked it up for this question. That's all. So
Okay.
I don't actually know. Yeah. So who wants to go next?
I'm not a red pill viewer, guys, at all. Like, I'm not red pilled. I just, honestly, that's my opinion as far as it goes. I love women, and I feel like we have, you know, this imbalance in society right now where we're allowing, you know, we're saying, oh, well, a woman can be as overweight as she wants to be, and we'll praise her as a goddess. You see a man the same size, and you're like, dude, lose some fucking weight.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with you that I think that, like, I do think that, like, the body positivity movement may have gone a little bit too far, to, you know, if I'm being, you know, generous. But I do think that, like, it's typically always been okay for, like, sitcoms to have, like, you know, an average looking dude and his wife always has to be super fucking hot. You know, it's always been okay in movies for, like, the leading male to be dating a woman half his age, or, like, even, like, you look at, like, online dynamics. I think there's, like, not that it's worse. I just think it's different. You know, I think it's a different type of dynamic that people have towards females online, and like vitriol online and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think
Towards
one of the things.
towards the sitcom thing, but that's literally them understanding the market that schluppy dudes are going to be sitting around watching TV. That's them
that's a good point.
creating. I
That is
mean,
a
it's
good
not
point.
it's not reality. They're not affirming a good self-image. They're just appeasing the fat male coterie who's sitting around watching sitcoms.
Not just that, though. So I think one of the things too is in male. I think a lot of us see more male scrutiny because we're on a lot of male-dominated platforms like
Yeah.
Twitch and YouTube, right?
Twitch is
And
really
it almost it starts to seem more even on those male-dominated platforms of, like, criticism toward male and females. But then when you go to, like, tabloids, like the Us magazines and the People magazines, it's all vitriol and poison against women for gaining like 2 pounds, because the base take here, women fucking hate other women. Dude, it is some of the purest hatred I have ever seen for people that they don't know is from
Picking on-
women against other fucking women. They hate each other.
I
And
think
so
it's
when
the
you go into
opposite.
women-dominated fields, it seems like the women's
Pecking order?
scrutiny is so strong.
Pecking order?
You
Pecking
get
order?
women launch a
God,
whole
stop.
PR campaign because they lost 5 pounds. The new me, how I did it. You know what I mean? On the cover of
But then a
Health
whole
magazine.
legion of women are also like, how unhealthy is it for her to be an ambassador for weight loss when some women are starving themselves on lemon juice and cayenne pepper to lose weight? I just saw this whole big thing about Kim Kardashian, a bunch of only women fucking hating on her for talking about how she loses weight because they're like, she sets up a disgusting like dynamic for beauty standards and what people will do to lose weight. And I've been watching MMA for years where these dudes go fucking blind and into liver failure to cut weight for a competition, and dudes are just like, well, yeah, fuck it, dude. Don't be fat.
You know,
Fight at your weight class.
I don't know that I can really speak to any of that, but I can circle back to the overall like question as a whole. And I just want to say, like, first and foremost, like, I love women. I love owning women. I love degrading
Cringe.
women. I love
Oh,
everything to
okay,
do with
thanks,
women.
never mind.
Nice.
You brought it back. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I always got you. But the thing is, I think when you're talking about like the actual negative impact on women, it's usually like the tropes and stereotypes and all the shit in Hollywood that sees the women get casted into these roles. So there's not like a whole lot of flexibility or influence that the talent has. And I think that's disconnect from the talent married with a lot of these like old ideas that are like, some of them are pretty funny, some of them are good to include, some of them are vital to particular stories, etc., etc., etc. But by and large, there's still like some kind of negative impact of all these like tropes and stereotypes and everything that get pushed, because not every Asian woman is like centrally submissive and like all this shit.
Okay, really quick, I gotta hop out, but it was a very fun panel with all of you guys.
Thank you for joining us, Sondsol.
Thanks for
Yeah, absolutely. I'll catch you guys later. All right.
Later, Sonsi.
Bye.
We'll argue
Peace.
about guns sometime.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Bye, Redneck. Love you, buddy. Okay, guys, this has been very fun. I gotta go though. All right. Let me just figure out, how do I end stream on you? Oh, I see, same thing.